less windy than yesterday with highs in the mid-60s, which is exactly normal for this time of year. It's another chilly night, though. We'll see clear skies with temperatures in the upper 30s. And then tomorrow, sunshine and highs again in the mid-60s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 139 points to 39,335.
Starts his moves, chopping his steps, finding Ingram. Left wing three in the air is good. From 0 to 100 for Carolina.
As the second stick away, Duke on to the Sweet 16 for the 29th time in their program history.
Rebound down to Birds. NC State dribbling the clock away into the forecourt. This one is going to end, and it's going to end with a 6-point win for the Wolfpack.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Stand up and take a bow. Triangle. As a unit, everyone in the 919, congrats. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox is the one clapping. He's producing the show. The college basketball season is down to the final 16. Some call it the Sweet 16. 3 of them are from our area code, from our backyard. How sweet it is, right? Duke, North Carolina State, North Carolina, all still playing. No other state has more than a single team in the Sweet 16. Our neighborhood has 3 of them.
Yeah.
19% roughly of the remaining teams are from the Triangle. I want to make sure everybody appreciates the greatness that we are experiencing. I want to make sure everybody understands that this happens rarely for us. It happens never for anybody else. It's only happened 5 times in the history of NC State, Duke, and North Carolina has it happened before. And in each of the previous 4 times, one Triangle team has made the Final Four at least. In each of the 2 previous times, one of the Triangle teams won the national championship. This not only happens roughly once a decade here in the Triangle, it is unheard of anywhere else. And it's a tough situation because I think it's really gosh darn cool. I think it's really gosh darn cool that it happens here. Meanwhile, the fans of each of these individual teams have to pretend like it's just you that's doing the cool thing, right? You can't hype up the others. That's a rival. Maybe internally you're like, yeah, we come from the best area in the country. Externally, you're like, how are they here also? We're so much better, so much more deserving. We've played so much better. They've had all of the hand that's been given to them. So what I'm going to do now is throughout the show today, we're going to let you brag on your team. Monday brag lines open. Open the phone lines, if you will. The call-in line is the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. We want to hear from Carolina fans, State fans, Duke fans. We want to hear why your team and how your team is amongst the last 16 standing.
Brag about your team.
Brag about them. Tell us why our concerns aren't real. Tell us why your path was the most awesome. We are opening up the phone lines today because we have something going on in the Triangle that doesn't happen anywhere else ever.
Last time it happened in 2015.
2015, previous time 2005.
That's it.
I mean, we're talking about it happens once a decade.
Like the 80s.
Then there's 86, 89, I think it happened, and that's it. That's all.
Yeah.
And you can rack your brain. It's difficult to even find 3 legitimate programs within the distance that these 3 programs anywhere else in the country. So 919-860-5326. Brag about your team. 919-860-5326. We want to hear from you. And here's the other part that I find interesting about these particular teams this particular year making it. It proves there's no map. There's no path. There's no well-worn path to follow to the Sweet 16. There's to use the cliche, more than there's a bunch of different ways to kill a cat. Skin a cat? I forget I just said I'm going to use the cliche and then butchered it. There's more than 9 ways to butcher a cat. How about that one? Skin a cat? Again, I don't know. But we watched these 3 teams about as closely as anyone watched any team in the country, right? We are a college basketball rabid fan area. We are a college sports show, or we are a sports show in that area. We follow these 3 teams as closely as anybody. They could not have gotten here in more different ways. Few stats to prove it. UNC's starting 5 has 593 games of experience. They have almost 600 games of experience by their starting 5. Duke's has 364 total, completely different. UNC and 2 players, Armando Bacot and RJ Davis, have over 300 games of experience. Duke's entire starting 5 has 364, and that comes with 151 of them from Jeremy Roach himself. Duke, this one's crazy. This stat, just to show you how differently Duke and NC State got to the Sweet 16. Duke has 11.6 minutes per game played by transfers. There's 200 minutes in a game, right? 5 guys. Do the math. 11.6 total minutes per game played by transfers for Duke. NC State has 179.2 minutes per game played by transfers. You can build your team in different ways. You can play in different ways. You can go about it in different ways. As long as you're standing when there's 16 teams remaining, it's going to be a pretty successful season. You're going to have good vibes. You're going to have good energy. You're going to have good mojo surround your team. There is nothing set in stone with what you have to do. So, again, we are opening up the phone lines, Heister Automotive Group hotline, to let you brag on your team and how they got here. We'll go to Michael in Durham first. Michael joins us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Michael, who do you want to brag on?
I'm calling for the Blue Devils, man. Ain't no better team in North Carolina.
Ooh, what makes you say that? Like if you're going to say something like that, there's 3 teams still playing. You got to back it up.
Well, for starters, we got the best blue of the 2 blues in North Carolina. For second, I mean, it's just a generation of greatness with the Blue Devils, man. Gotta love them.
All right, I appreciate the call, Michael.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, man. I'm a big fan. You guys have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Right there is fandom. I mean, that's fandom right there.
Hey.
First of all, I like the shade of blue better. And it's like, all right. Generation of, and there's been some greatness in that other shade also in this generation. I'm just throwing that out there. We'll go to Stephen in Wake Forest. Stephen, you are up next on the Heister Automotive Group hotline here on the Drive with Tim Donnelly. How are you taking in this March Madness?
Hey, Tim, first of all, I love your show. You do a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm going to bring a different perspective to the fandom. I wasn't raised here. I didn't go to any of the 3 schools here. Grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, KU fan. Moved to the D.C. area for 25 years, Georgetown and Maryland. Moved down here, and like I say, I don't have to hate any of these teams. I love the 3 of them, and it's pure joy not to have, a big emotional investment in who beats who, but just to enjoy the style of play and the game. And I probably lean NC State this year because I just love their team. I love their players are exciting and different. And this is, you guys that grew up here, I don't know if you really understand what you have. This is incredible.
Stephen, thank you very much. That's the exact message I was trying to get across to start the show. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for listening. Here's what I'm going to build off of that. There also comes there's some legitimacy to playing your college basketball here. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to be a comedian, you go to New York City and you get on all the open mics and that you possibly can, right? Because if you're no good, you'll figure it out. If you want to be a country music star, you go to Nashville and you play in all those bars and you write your songs and you play them because that's where the best are. If you want to play college basketball, I think you do what you can to make it to this market, and it'll be a real quick decider, right? You play in a couple of the rivalry games in the ACC for one of the 3 schools here, you'll know very, very quickly if you have what it takes to survive. You'll know very, very quickly if you have what it takes to succeed at the highest levels of college basketball.
So I'm kind of similar both to Steven in this regard because I grew up in Virginia. So I grew up watching ACC basketball my entire life. So I have an appreciation for what this league has brought. But living here, and now living here for roughly about the same time Steven has, I could just sit back and enjoy.
Yep,
it's the fun part about it. It's like, oh, watch a rivalry game, like see who plays well, and just be immersed in it. And again, not have that emotional tie of being like, oh, my team lost, I hate everything.
Well, here's what I like. Here's I think why I'm so like appreciate it. I feel like this is gonna be we're gonna have a later Adam Sandler movie reference, but I'm gonna use one here. When he's Billy Madison and he's grabbing like the 3rd grader, like cherish it.
Yeah, stay here.
Like that's what I want to do to basketball fans in the area. Just cherish it. I went to the University of Delaware, diehard Blue Hen fan. In my like reign as a Delaware fan, we've had one women's basketball team reach the Sweet 16, and that's the furthest we've gone. Like just making it to the NCAA tournament is awesome. The Sweet 16 is a great time of any variety, and there's 3 of them in this market currently at the same time. I mean, you just don't get that anywhere, so seriously, embrace it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And you know what else you should embrace? My friends over at Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Village District location. I was actually there with my wife and my son over the weekend. We were in the area, stopped in to see what the selection had. They obviously have the pre-owned, the vintage, so we wanted to see what was in the cases. My wife gravitated towards the G-Shock. If you're in the watch shop, you go back and to the left, back by the bar. They have a G-Shock cabinet, and it's, you know, G-Shock it has a reputation for being maybe a watch that you can wear when you're doing yard work or whatever, which they do have. Wildly versatile, wildly durable, which is very important. Get them wet and all that. But they go up a couple steps. There's some maybe more luxury G-Shocks that bring the durability, the versatility, and everything you think of with a G-Shock with a little bit more fashion focus. So go check it out. Again, it's in the case in the watch shop, Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location, all the way in the back to the left of the watch shop by the bar. Some stuff that might surprise you from a brand that you probably know a little bit about. So go ahead and check them out. Stop by Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's at the Village District location. We're going to take a break here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly, but when we come back, NC State, maybe the most unlikely of all the Sweet 16 teams if you go back 13 days ago, probably definitely if you go back 13 days ago, they beat Oakland in overtime to punch their ticket. What is their main story? Stick around.
Bring on the madness.
Pass ahead, down to O'Connell. He'll dribble out the clock. It's all over. The Pack wins 79-73 in overtime. You can light up the bell tower red and meet the Pack in Dallas, Texas, because NC State's going to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 9 years.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Carolina Ale House, Fairway Green, and Bailey's Fine Jewelry.
The moment we've been waiting for has arrived. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today using code NEWNC. Then place your first bet of $10 or more, and win or lose, you'll receive $250 in bonus bets. Open to new users in North Carolina who are 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos or the promos tab in the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagamenc.gov. Tribal Casino Gaming Enterprise is a licensed operator by the North Carolina State Lottery Commission.
Were you forced to get a nosebleed mortgage rate in the past year? Loan Pronto is here to rescue you. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Listen, if your mortgage rate is over 7, you're going to be in heaven with Loan Pronto's zero-cost refi. You can cut your house payment by hundreds of dollars with zero closing costs. Rates have come down, so you can say goodbye to that bad loan you got stuck with. Loan Pronto's now got APRs with fixed rates in the 5s. One couple just did this and saved over $550 a month with no appraisal and closed in 10 days. So, don't live with that stupid rate a day longer. You can lock in at a lower rate now with no cost and very little paperwork. Loan Pronto, your easy button for lower rates and no closing cost loans. Call now and see how much lower you can get your house payment. Refi now and you can even skip your next 2 house payments altogether. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Equal housing lender.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, like people who want to save up to 25%. Take Julie. When her old car insurance got too expensive, do you think she ditched her car for a pair of rollerblades? No, she found affordable coverage with Direct Auto. And you can too. Get a free quote at directauto.com or find a store near you. Direct Auto. Stop compromising. Keep driving. Savings vary. Terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Dauntless Transmissions has been the trusted transmission shop in Raleigh for more than 27 years. The experts at Dauntless Transmission are dauntless when it comes to caring for your vehicle. Whether that means a total transmission rebuild, complex engine or brake service, or just a routine tune-up, your vehicle will be dauntless when they're done with it. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Dauntless is currently looking for skilled auto technicians to join the Dauntless team. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com/careers to apply.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and more. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. And love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey guys, sound familiar? Your energy's not the same. The weight's starting to creep up. You're a little forgetful. And to make matters worse, you're not sleeping well. Well, it could be low T, but you shouldn't go one more day dealing with these symptoms. Help is available at QC Kinetics. They'll help diagnose the issue and get you back to feeling like yourself again. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They use biologic treatments encouraging your body to optimize the hormone levels you need to boost stamina, provide more mental clarity, and improve your metabolism. It starts with a complimentary consultation and comprehensive exam. One quick office visit, and you'll have next steps to swing those hormone levels back into balance. All using the protocols QC Kinetics is known for around the country. Most importantly, you'll be back to yourself, and that's important. So call right now for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. Located in Raleigh, 919-400-5473.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. NC State beat Oakland to make it into the Sweet 16. That's the main story, right? It is a survive and advance vibe. It is by any means necessary. It took overtime. It had all these things, but that is the main story, okay? They're still playing basketball against so many odds. But if you listen to The Drive, you know we never stop with the main story, right? There's nuance, there's context, there's levels, there's things that you have to explain or have a conversation about, would be the better way to put it. You know what I think is funny? I think part of the context is we may have been worried about the wrong NC State Wolfpack player getting tired.
Oh, yeah?
So much talk about DJ Burns getting tired and fatigued and possibly not being there. And oh, will he be able to last? And oh, they've played 7 games in 11 days. And oh, he played 42 minutes against Oakland. 42 minutes. I think the concern, we might be looking at the wrong person to get tired. DJ Burns, he's good at getting tired. I don't know how else to describe it. He understands where he can catch a breath, mostly on defense. He understands when he can stand motionless for 5 seconds. He understands that when the ball's on the other side of the offense, he can kind of lackadaisically try to get positioning just to make his defender work, but he's saving energy. Then when he gets the ball, suddenly it's like turbo mode. So when he gets the ball, all of a sudden he's got all the energy in the world. He knows how to disperse it because he's been dealing with it all season, all off-season, all postseason. Here's DJ Burns on the challenges of all the physical play in the post.
Again, it's one of those games, where I had the choice to, get in my feelings about getting fouled or continue to play hard. I just hit a point where I was like, I just got to ignore it because it's not going away. So I just wanted to try my best to keep going for my guys.
And every time you yell at the ref, that's breath you're not catching. However, if you look at the team as a whole, they shot roughly 45%. That's not bad, right? That makes sense. You won an NCAA tournament game. If you take away DJ Burns' 9 for 12 shooting, State shot roughly 38%. They shot 20 of 52. And that's a lot of missed jumpers. That's a lot of missed, drives that require a lot of energy. And any basketball player knows this, and every coach knows this that's ever coached basketball. When you get tired, what's the first thing to go?
Your talk.
That's funny. But physically, it's your legs, right?
It's your legs, yeah.
So jump shots. So if you're missing a lot of jump shots, it's often because you're fatigued, which is why every coach is like, we're going to run suicides, or we're going to run 1660s or 33s, or whichever, the conditioning run of your coach's choice was. And then we're going to take a jumper, and if you make it, we'll be done. Right? And it's like, okay, but when you're tired, you're not going to make jumpers. You're not going to make free throws because your legs are gone. DJ Horn shot 1 of 6 from 3 against Oakland. Casey Morcell shot 2 of 6 from 3. The jumper goes first with tired legs. Right? Horn, Morcell, Diarra all played less minutes than DJ Burns. I can't remember that happening at all this year. If you just Horn and Morcell, I can't remember them playing less minutes. For as tired as DJ Burns looks and or like our common sense says he should look, he's good at it. There's no wasted energy. Everybody else we haven't been paying attention to, they're the ones that I'm like, get off your feet, hydrate, right? Get into the ice bath. You got a little bit of a break here, right? You got this midweek break. Do everything you possibly can to get back and be 100%, because these tournament games, there's no guarantee they won't go to overtime. There's no guarantee you won't be playing 40-plus minutes. There's no guarantee you won't have some foul trouble like Diarra and Middlebrooks had, where Burns can't come out or anybody can't come out. And, again, it was so much fun to watch the nation learn about DJ Burns. I said this during the ACC tournament because I watched the championship with someone that had never watched DJ Burns play basketball before, and just watching their bewilderment was so much fun. It's like watching a great movie that you know is great, and you're watching it with someone who's seeing it for the first time, and you're just reliving it all through them. The nation is getting to know DJ Burns, and I'm just like, oh, I remember my first time. Here's Kevin Keats on with Adam Gold right here on 99.9 The Fan earlier today on that exact phenomena, the nation learning about DJ Burns.
It's funny because now the national audience is kind of seeing what everybody in the ACC and the people around Raleigh have seen. He's a great story, big teddy bear, great, touch, soft feet, quick on his feet, can do some different things, and, just one of those great guys to be around. And I think he's taking his game to another level. He and I spoke after the season last year, and he just did not like the way he ended the season against Creighton and didn't play well. And so I knew once we got back into postseason, it was going to be a different DJ Burns.
It is, and it's also like it also isn't a new DJ Burns or a different DJ Burns. And here's what I mean by that. It could just be he's facing people that don't understand. And I said this going into the NCAA tournament, you can't simulate DJ Burns in practice. I don't like the only way, and Dennis brought it up, the only way to even give a shot was you'd have to hit up the football team and say, can we get your tallest tackle? Yeah. And just have him beat up our post in practice for a day or two so they get used to what it's like to have that much weight leaning on you. Because it's not an offensive foul if he's just leaning, right? If he now there occasionally, an elbow gets tossed or he's really, invoking his inner like goal line running back, and it gets a little close there. But when he's just leaning on you, it's just tiring. You're just in a squat with 400 pounds, 300 pounds on the bar, and you're just sitting in the hole, and you do that for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of game time. You're just going to be tired, and you can't prepare for it. You have to do it a few times, learn what you did wrong, and then that third, fourth time, you'll be all right. But guess what? You're only going to face him one time. It's an NCAA tournament. Teams in the ACC have figured some stuff out. They played him better this year than last year. Teams in the tournament, they don't have that ability. Because I remind you of this. There were a lot of games where Burns wasn't super effective this year. He's been super effective in the tournament. Now, one way is you could just say Burns is playing better. Sure, possible. Another way is to say they don't know what to do with him. I think that's more possible, right? Him and Baycott, right? Baycott after the game was after their first UNC-NC State game, Baycott was comparing like last year to this year and the battles they've had. You're not going to hear that with Marquette. You didn't hear that after Oakland. You didn't hear that after Texas Tech. There's no like, well, this is what it was like. There's all like, well, we experienced it for the first time and we didn't do a good job with it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. They beat Oakland in overtime. It was a matchup of teams of destiny. Only one could remain. NC State, team of destiny, confirmed. Oakland, so close. What was his name? Golke, almost the player of the tournament. Burns, player of the tournament, confirmed. 2 entered, only 1 remains. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Meanwhile, North Carolina mowed down Michigan State after a slow start. How in the heck did they turn that one around like they've done so many times this year? We'll look at that. But first, I want to tell you about my friends over at Miller Lending. Of course, that means Gordon Miller. There's a lot of travel going on right now, right? Teams crisscrossing to play all these neutral site games. So I think I'll use an airline analogy for you to explain what Miller Lending can do for you. You may hear somewhere that someone else has a rate lower than Miller's rates. Just like you may hear someone somewhere say, hey, our airplane tickets are cheaper than the competition. But then you're like, cool, book it. And then they go, well, are you taking any bags? You go, well, yeah, 1 bag. I'm going for a couple days. All right, that's another $45. Do you want water on the plane? All right, cool. Better bring a credit card. That's going to be $25. You want to use the bathroom? $25. You want to not have a layover in Dallas for 45 hours? That's going to be another $100. You want to have insurance on your bag? Well, why would I need that? That's another $45. And then by the time it's all adding up, well, you paid way more than you would have if you just went to an all-inclusive with a little bit more on their ticket price. That's kind of the same deal here. When you go to Miller Lending, there's no closing costs, no fees. So you need to do the math, and they can help you do it, to see how long you'd have to keep your mortgage for it really to make sense, right? They'll have all the math right there for you, easy to understand, and they can explain it for you. All you have to do is give them a call. 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. Again, when we come back, UNC mows down Michigan State. How'd they do it? Stick around.
We buy any car. Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because when you trade in, you're dealing with a dealer. And sure, they're interested in a good deal. For them, not for you. Come to WeBuyAnyCar.com instead. All we do is buy cars. You get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price. So don't take chances with a trade-in. Go to WeBuyAnyCar.com for a free online valuation.
Find out how much your car's worth at WeBuyAnyCar.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit MovingNCStudentsForward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have, because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan Sea Salt Body Wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
You know what happens when a smart group of medical professionals get together and commit to a technology designed to relieve your aching joints without surgery? It's called QC Kinetics.
And this guy knows the power of a solid team. Emmitt Smith, football legend and Dancing with the Stars champ.
This elite medical group, some of them orthopedic doctors, got together and said, why are we prescribing so many medications? Why are we sending so many people to surgery in droves? Let's change this.
The answer? Natural Biologics, our own healing properties. And the outcome is the country's largest provider of non-surgical regenerative treatments, QC Kinetics.
Actually, the real outcome are the tens of thousands of patients who finally got their quality of life back without surgery. Thanks to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
Avenged sevenfold in concert. A7X. Friday, March 29th, PNC Arena, Raleigh. With special guests, Poppy and Sullivan King. Tickets are on sale now at LiveNation.com. Avenged Sevenfold. Live. Produced by Live Nation. New album, Life is But a Dream. Out now.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you've just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles' juicy golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun fried whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for my team at FanDuel, and I want you to say goodbye to busted brackets because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tournament. Whether you're betting on a big upset or a 1 seed, it's time to go dancing with America's #1 sportsbook. You can bet on everything from the money line, pick those winners, to over-unders, to which team cuts down the nets, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So take the court with $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P, and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We continue our tour. This is fantastic. We continue our tour around the bracket where we just look at all the teams in the triangle that won. And it's not one stop. We've got multiple stops to make on this tour, which is lovely. UNC mowed down Michigan State starting with about 5 minutes left in the first half. I will admit it did take them about 15 minutes of feeling it out, of seeing what Michigan State was going to do, and then they said, all right, let's go. They took the best punch that Michigan State had to offer, still came out at the end of the game looking like one of the best bets to win the national championship. That's pretty darn good. With 5 minutes left in the first half, right? Because if there's a lot of just box score watching, as you know, as much as everybody would like to just plant themselves and grow roots into their couch watching every game over a 4-day span, occasionally you have to take the trash out. You got to pick the kids up from school. You got to, catch a nap. So there is a lot of oh, how's my bracket doing? Let me refresh. And if you just saw the final score of UNC Michigan State, you probably have been smoked them. Which isn't wholly inaccurate, but with 5 minutes left in the first half, Michigan State was winning 28-27.
And I think Carolina at one point was down, if I remember correctly, 28-17.
Yes, something. Yeah, actually,
it was an 11 or 12-point game,
which goes to show you the run that UNC went on.
Yeah.
So what happened in that very moment Or actually, let me ask you this question. What happened between that very moment where Michigan State looked like the better team through at least half of the first half and the end of the game when UNC was comfortably ahead and cruising to an 85-69 victory? What was the big difference? I've got a really detailed answer for you. Not much. Not much. I don't think sometimes there is that big dramatic eureka moment that a coaching staff has where it's like, they can't stop us in the post. And from that point on, it's just dominant. Or like RJ Davis is having a good day. Let's run him off 900 screens. And then sometimes it's just they looked at the game and said, you know what? I think we're the better team. It's just, small sample size, fluky stuff has happened early. They've hit some shots. If we keep executing our game plan, we're going to be good to go.
I remember when Hubert Davis had his in-game interview with CBS, and he immediately, I forget her name, just cut her off. It's like, we just got to be more aggressive. Like, we have to be more aggressive. We need to attack. And that's when you started seeing things turn around because that slow start, before you know it, they're pushing the ball in transition. They're going after rebounds harder. And before you know it, they make that, 17-0 run?
Let's hear from Hubert Davis on what allowed them to storm back.
Well, we started to compete. I mean, they punched first. Their physicality, their will, their want to. The first 10 minutes of the game just overwhelmed us. They were catching the ball wherever they wanted to, close to the basket on the block. They were getting layups, second chance opportunities defensively. They were pushing us off of our screens, our spots. They just were playing better than us. And, we came into the huddle and I said, look, we can't talk about any basketball stuff until we join the fight. And once that started, the level of play in terms of the energy and effort, attention to detail rose, then that's when things started to change. And, we always talk about how do you react and how do you respond? And these guys, the whole team, reacted and responded the right way after going down, was it 14 in the first half.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. There wasn't some tactical change. It was, listen, guys, play better. Call a timeout to say, like, guys, what? Are you just compete? And here's the thing. With UNC, with so many guys that are so proven, right? Players, I said it earlier, they have 560 some odd games of experience in just their starting five. When you have that much proven, you're pretty confident they're going to wake up at some point, right? Hubert Davis didn't have to do anything special to wake up Harrison Ingram or to wake up Armando Bacot or RJ Davis. These are elite competitors that you're pretty confident if you give them, maybe they started with their worst 10 minutes of the game, but you're pretty confident their worst 10 minutes won't be replicated by the same bad 10 minutes, and they're eventually going to pick it up. By the end of the first half, so right, with 5 minutes left, they were still trailing. That feels ridiculous. Based on what we know at the end of the game. They're trailing 5 minutes before half. By the end of the first half, RJ Davis hit a 3, Harrison Ingram hit a 3, Cormac Ryan hit a 3, Armando Bacot hit a couple free throws, had a bunch of rebounds. Nothing there is out of the ordinary. That's what those guys do, right? You will not hear me go, oh, geez, RJ Davis hit a 3? It's like, well, I've watched him all season, and pretty much what he does when he needs a bucket is gets open from the perimeter and knocks it down.
He's a first-team All-American for a reason.
ACC Player of the Year for a reason. Cormac Ryan. What Cormac Ryan does is hunt for his 3. Didn't shoot it well early in the year. The past month and a half, he's been pretty darn good. Harrison Ingram can do a little bit of everything. If the game called for him to shoot 3s, I'm not going to be surprised that he knocked down a 3. And then there's Armando Bacot rebounding and going to the free throw line. That's just doing what they do at a slightly higher level than they were doing it. By the way, it was nice to see Harrison Ingram get going again. It felt like a big 3 again for the last, I don't know, two games, 2.5 games. It was kind of RJ Davis and Bacot and then everybody else. Harrison Ingram, it felt like, was back in that top 3 again. Let's hear from Armando Bacot, solidified in the top 3, on Harrison Ingram stepping up.
Games like these, when it gets real rowdy and physical and it's in the trenches, we know these are hairy type of games. So there was no doubt in our mind that he would really show up a big time for us and hit big shots. And the way he defended today was amazing for us. And, we don't win that without him.
I want to know what it's like to play like ping pong with Harrison Ingram. Because everybody in the North Carolina program, when they talk about him, can't do anything but reference how, Like when the game gets chippy, we know Harrison's going to be there. When they start talking trash, it's always Harrison in the middle of it, right? When the game, like I want to know what it's like to play. Like I'm sure he's the guy, and this is just inferring based on how competitive and how much he enjoys the back and forth that everybody tells me he enjoys. I bet you he's a guy that's like calling shotgun before the meal's over. You know what I mean? Like, and then arguing with the rules. I could see the car through the window, so you're allowed to call shotgun. Like he's that guy. He doesn't lose it much. So when Michigan State started chirping a little bit and you start seeing Harrison Ingram chirp back, it's not a situation where, Baycott or Davis as the vets on the team are running over going like, man, chill. They're sitting there with a smirk on their face like, you sure you want to do this, Sparty? You sure you want to wake them up, Izzo and crew? That's the best thing North Carolina has going for them. They know exactly who they are, and they don't panic. How many times in the last 2 months have we said the game was close at half and then they pulled away? How many times have I used the analogy that they are Frankenstein in an old school horror movie chasing down the protagonists, where the protagonists are running away, armed like high knees, arms pumping, sprinting, and there's Frankenstein behind them. You just see his shadow walking. Step, maybe arms out in like that true Frankenstein posture, just stepping. Yet somehow he's moving faster than they are. He's getting closer than they are. That's what North Carolina does, right? It's halftime. The opposing team feels like, hey, we're in this. They may be a top 5 team in the country, but we're playing with them. We're in the mix. And then here comes Frankenstein. And they're just plodding along, doing what they do, not changing their stride, not doing anything crazy, but they're just chasing you down. And then all of a sudden they're in front of you. And then all of a sudden they're ahead by 10. And then they're ahead by 17. And then you're hugging your seniors on the sideline saying it was a good run. We really appreciate everything you did for the program. And UNC is cruising to a win. I mean, it's that crazy.
I think that basically happened in the first half against Michigan State. Remember, they were down, by 14 points. Then by half, they're up 40-31. Like just seconds after Harrison Ingram hits a three-pointer to extend the lead even further. And I'm sure Michigan State was like, we threw our best haymaker and we're down by 9. Like what more do we do?
How did we let this happen? Right? It's just like the horror movie. It's how? What? Well, we locked the door. How? What? All right, well, we just lost 2 of our friends. Now we got to figure out what to do. They just know exactly who they are. And part of that is experience, right? You're not going to see Cormac Ryan miss 2 threes and suddenly think he's, a slasher, right? He's going to go, all right, I missed 2 threes. Guess what? Pretty confident the next 2 are going to go in. You're not going to see Armando Baycott, right? I thought it was funny after senior day, Armando Baycott hit him with like, I'm a 3-and-D guy now because he made 2 threes, which were, career threes, number 4 and 5 for him. And he's like, I'm a 3-and-D guy now. There's no real, that was obviously a joke, and it was a joke when he said it. But he knows, I'm Armando Baycott. I get rebounds. I'm the all-time leading UNC rebounder, and I score down low and I get fouled. RJ Davis is not like, I'm going to try to dunk on somebody. It's like, well, if you do, nice, but really you're a perimeter threat, and you're going to do perimeter threat things. Mowed down Michigan State after that slow start.
I think Harrison Ingram's 5 threes were a career high, if I remember correctly, for him.
I can remember a 4. You're probably right.
I think
at least is UNC high.
Yeah.
At least is UNC high. Who knows what happened at Stanford? Although that's an ACC program.
That's an ACC legends now.
Yeah, I was going to say, now I'm obviously pro-ACC, so I got to start defending Stanford. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're talking all this basketball because it's awesome, and guess what? We're going to have an opportunity to talk more basketball when The Drive, this show, Dennis and I, will be broadcasting live from Carolina Ale House in Cary on Friday afternoon. We'll get you primed for a historic night of Sweet 16 college basketball. State fans, Duke fans, join us early. Grab your seats. Get your orders in before tip-off. The Drive, live Friday from Carolina Ale House in Cary.
Nice.
That's going to be a really fun atmosphere.
Let's go.
It's going to be a really fun
atmosphere.
Nice
day out, too. You know what? Just take Friday off, people. Or at least call it half day.
Yeah, I was going to say, go on a couple business meetings that you have scheduled, out of the office for the afternoon. Wink, wink. As will everybody else in the office. It happens. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. One of the teams we just brought up that'll be playing on Friday. Duke, I would say, rolled over Vermont and then destroyed James Madison.
Put the boots to JMU.
They're playing, meaning Duke, playing their best basketball of the year. And if you had to choose what time to play your best basketball, this is going to be draft pick number 1 in the NCAA tournament.
They beat JMU so bad their coach left and took another job.
Actually, to go over what we were just talking about, their coach was hugging seniors early in that game.
Oh, yeah.
He was the Duke walk-ons and bench players got some run. They got normally you like if you get like one attempt as the guy off the bench getting the blowout run. They got like a couple up and downs. They got to play some defense, settle into the game, get a nice sweat working. That game was over early. They did about as well as you like. I'm just so you know, Duke fans, another shoe is going to drop here. They did as well as they could controlling Vermont and smoking James Madison, which is as good as you can do. And I would not ever suggest that you don't smoke a team if you have the ability to run them out of the gym, right? Always choose that. If there's the option, choose the winning by 30. I never understood the people that were like, it's better to be in a close game than a blowout. It's more fun. I'm going to win, which was the best and easiest way to win. So you did what you should have done, Duke. But also, it doesn't really disprove my biggest concern for you. And it's a concern that I've been on the record for months having about Duke, which is your toughness. Your edge, your grit, whatever you want to call it, which is most obviously shown in a close game, 1 possession, 2 possessions down the stretch where every play matters, where you can't whine to the ref, where you have to just go. If you get 2 hands on the ball, it has to be yours against a good team with as much talent as you have, or at least close to as much talent as you have. Duke looked ready to play. I'm not knocking them for it. And there's nothing you can do if the team you get drawn in the second round is James Madison, a team that you just inherently have a bunch more talent than. James Madison was a very good team. They played together. They played hard. You could tell it was a good program. There's a reason why Vanderbilt wants their coach. But also, at a certain point, you got a 7-2 NBA player down low. You have a absolute flamethrower of maybe the greatest freshman shooter in the country this year in Jared McCain, and there's just nothing James Madison can do with that. They don't have the counter. Here's John Shire on the team being ready to play.
James Madison, you're playing a team that has 3 losses the whole year, and they had a really impressive performance against Wisconsin, and I don't know if we expected this, but I just thought our guys came out with such a great competitiveness, and they're obviously ready to play. Not just ready to play, you have to be ready to compete in these games. And everybody that was on the floor, I felt, had that. It helps, when you have a guy like Jared McCain. He broke the Duke record today for threes in the NCAA tournament. We've had some pretty good shooters here. And so to break that record with 8, I'm sure he's mad at me for taking him out early. You want me to get the record? He's going to be mad at me. He wanted to be in there more, but he had a great way about him, obviously.
Yeah, when you have a future first-round draft pick complaining that he didn't get to stay in the game to break more records because you were ahead by a bunch, sometimes you roll the talent out and the talent is good enough. Duke's mental edge is easily the thing that concerns me about them the most, and you prove that. The only way you can prove that you fix that, or that you have more of that, or that I misdiagnosed you as a team that doesn't have mental toughness, is in close games against talented teams. With one caveat, right? There's always the one trapdoor, the one loophole. Unless you're able to pull off the most baller strategy of all, which is just to avoid close games, right? Unless you're able to say, yeah, maybe we're not great at closing games where every play matters and it gets more physical and the refs swallow their whistle and you need to physically dominate your opponent. So why don't we just avoid the close games and win everything by double digits? That is an option. It is Darn near impossible, but it is an option. I promised another Adam Sandler movie reference earlier. Here you go. Happy Gilmore, right? There's the moment where he doesn't know how to putt, and he gets very frustrated. You may remember the scene. What, are you too good for your home? You know the one. And then he makes a hole-in-one on a par 4. He hits it like a 430-yard hole-in-one, and he looks at his coach, Chubbs, the late, great Carl Weathers, and he says, that's so much easier than putting. Maybe I should just do that every time. He's talking about hitting a hole-in-one every time because he doesn't like putting. If you can pull it off, it'll work, right? Even Chubb says, I think that's a good strategy, Happy, right? Like, if you can pull it off, it'll work, but it's nearly impossible. So the Duke could try, right? Winning by 30 is so much easier than having to close the game out with free throws and tough play down the stretch. So why don't we just win by 30 every time? Good strategy, Happy. If you can't do that, then yeah, you're going to have to do the things that are winning basketball down the stretch. You're going to have to do the things that you couldn't do against NC State in the ACC tournament. You're going to have to do the things that you couldn't do against UNC in either game during the regular season. You're going to have to do the things that require a bit of mental edge and toughness that we haven't seen from you this year. Or, Dennis uses this a lot, right? Unless you're going to do it, right?
Unless you're going to do it.
You can't win by double figures in every game unless you're going to do it, right? And that would be the all-time run. It would be an all-time move from a team that I think might need to. Do you know what would help a lot in their quest to win every game by a bunch?
What's that?
If Jared McCain shoots like he shot against.
Yeah, he'd make 8 3-pointers a game. Yeah, that's going to help.
But also the confidence of it, right? He made the first one, and you can tell in his eyes he was like, oh, this is different than the ACC tournament, right? When I bumped my head and I couldn't see, as soon as it went in. And by the way, I predicted a game like that. I was one game early. I thought it was going to happen against Vermont. I did it on the show on Friday. I said he's going to want to remind everybody he's a better shooter than that, and his the swelling will have gone down, and he'll know what it looks like. It happened. It just happened against James Madison. As soon as that first one went in, it was like, ooh, right? You ready for another movie reference that nobody will see coming? The Australian shark in Nemo when he sniffs in the blood and he's like, ooh, that's good. Soon as Jared McCain had that first one go in, it was, ooh, that's good. And then he was hunting for him, right? And then on fast breaks, he's not running to the bucket for a layup. He's running to one of his spots on the perimeter and waiting for them to set him up. When he tosses it into the post, he's not looking to set a screen and relocate. He's looking to get lost in the shuffle and catch it on the perimeter and knock it down. And guess what? Knock it down, he did. If he can do that, yeah, I think they could blow out a lot of teams. And they're playing a 1 seed. They have Houston coming up. But like Houston's going to have the talent, they're going to have the coaching, they're going to have all the things that can test their toughness, unless Jared McCain isn't missing from the perimeter, in which case they might win that one by double figures. I wouldn't bank on 8 threes again from a freshman, but it's possible. I mean, there's a reason why I call him maybe the best freshman shooter in the country.
Again, unless you're going to do it.
Unless he's going to do it. Let's hear from McCain on that moment, that's so good moment when he knew he was feeling it.
I feel like every game I'm always ready to see if I'm going to go off. I work so hard, so I'm just prepared every game. I do blame him a little bit for sure. He definitely just wants to keep that record. Yeah, I wanted to beat him, so.
It's not mine. He's talking about the points record. That's what he's talking about.
I just want to be him, really. That's all. That's really all my goal is in life, is to be him. But yeah, that's really it.
I'll tell you right now, and that's a perfect example. It's funny, right? He's talking back and forth with Shire about the records that Shire holds and McCain might one day hold and all these things. Have you ever seen a freshman more comfortable? He is who he is. He is comfortable in his own skin, but also like he's playing in the NCAA tournament. He's joking around with his coach. I don't know. Maybe I'm just only paying attention to the teams in the triangle, and every freshman across the country is that comfy. But it just seems like he's unrattleable, and he's had that all year. Again, I'm on the record throughout the year saying it. They need some edge, but they have the comfort. I'll give them that much. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Underdog Sportsbooks. We all know sports betting. It's been here for a couple weeks in the state of North Carolina. Underdog, they've entered the chat. Underdog, they've worked hard behind the scenes to create that sportsbook app you've been looking for as the American sports fan. The result, a simple, fresh experience with straightforward language that fans can understand and a design that's as clean as it is appealing. It's super easy to use. I actually, this past weekend, a lot of college hoops going on. Well, guess what? I did a little parlay. Action. I was very close on hitting. I just needed one other team to actually cover a spread, but they didn't, but that's fine. I was invested in these games, and guess what? It was simple and easy for me to understand exactly where to go to find stuff, the bets I wanted to make, all that stuff. That's what makes Underdog Sportsbook so easy to use. And you can use it as well. Just download the Underdog Sportsbook app on iOS or Android. Sign up with the promo code Dennis, that's my name, and use your first bet mulligan, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus bets if your first bet loses. That's Underdog Sportsbook, promo code Dennis. Must be 21 plus to gamble and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543. Or visit morethanagame.nc.gov or call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply and can be found in the Underdog Sportsbook app.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Will be back with a quick football at 4 conversation before we jump back to college basketball. So get ready. We're talking Panthers coming up next.
Bring on the madness.
To the left, McCain a three. Wow! McCain with his 8th three-pointer. It's a Blue Devil beatdown in Brooklyn. 93-55 the final score as they blast JMU and head into the Sweet 16.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Carolina Ale House, Fairway Green, and Bailey's Fine Jewelry.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
For a limited time, you can buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $2.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Want a truck? You're in luck, because it's Ram Truck Month at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. We're not talking just 5, 10, or even 15% off. We're talking 20% off all new Ram 1500s, excluding TRX and Tradesman package. 20% off all shiny new Ram 1500s. It's time to get off your keister and get to Heister for your new truck. We'll serve it up with personalized customer service from our team dedicated to providing a seamless buying experience. Hurry to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
When something happens to your car, you might say, but what you really need to say is something that can actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And just like that, State Farm is there to help you file your claim right on the State Farm mobile app. So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you can start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
March, as we all know, is a critical time to check your home's windows. I'm Tim Donnelly, and if yours are cracked or leaking or won't stay open or won't open at all, then it's time to call the pros at Window Nation. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 windows free, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. With proven quality and service, it's no wonder thousands have trusted Window Nation. Don't miss out. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
Did you know that when you talk, read, or sing with your child, you're helping to shape their brain? Every parent has the power to create a strong start for our children from the day they are born. Visit TalkingIsTeaching.org for free tips and ideas on how to transform everyday moments into magical moments for learning.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness.
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Looking nice this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, less windy than yesterday with highs in the mid-60s, which is exactly normal for this time of year. It's another chilly night, though. We'll see clear skies with temperatures in the upper 30s. And then tomorrow, sunshine and highs again in the mid-60s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 162 points to 39,313.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are going to take a few minutes here to talk Panthers, but a reminder, when we jump back to college basketball in 10, 12, 15 minutes, our Heister Automotive Group hotline is open for you to brag about your team, 919-860-5326. If you want to brag about your college basketball team, still in the running, still in the mix, still vying for a national championship, we want to hear it. Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. Just be prepared if you call in right this minute to be on hold for like 10 minutes.
Yes. Because we have the Podium coming up here shortly.
We do. Football 4. What do you want to hear from Dave Canales tomorrow? I think this is a fun game. The reason why I set these games up and ask these questions ahead of time is so we can't move the goalposts, right? There are fans out there, you may believe this. You may not believe this, I should say, of every sport that will find a way to not like everything, right? So what I try to do is get ahead of that. Because Dave Canales, for those of you that don't know, there's the NFL meetings are going on. The AFC coaches spoke to the media today. The NFC coaches will speak to the media tomorrow that are in attendance. And I guarantee you there are fans out there that no matter what Dave Canales says, they are not going to like it. Why? Because they're glass half empty people, right? They're just, oh, he didn't say this, he didn't say that. So I asked the day before, what do you want to hear from him? What vibes do you want to get? What answers do you want to hear? What do you want from Dave Canales? I ask you this ahead of time, so then if he does it, you can't double back and find something else you hate. I'll tell you what I want to see, what I want to hear. And I'll do one that's very like wishy-washy, very like, I don't know, crunchy granola. Granola was the word I was looking for there. And then one that's more concrete. I want him to be himself. I want to feel like you're getting the authentic Dave Canales. It can be intimidating for a new coach to be at these meetings, right? Around all of those great coaches that you've looked up to for years that are now your peers. Suddenly you have to rub elbows with these guys rather than, oh, excuse me, can I have some advice? Which I'm sure you were doing recently. If you go look at, they take the class picture every year. You know what I'm talking about? They get the risers out and they do the class picture of all the coaches in attendance. Dave Canales is sitting dead center, front row, right next to Andy Reid. Both in shorts. Put together a little differently, but both in shorts.
Nice. Good on them.
Don't be intimidated, right? Like, this might be the easiest one to identify. Jim Harbaugh, back in the NFL, this was his first meeting since being back in the NFL. He spoke to the media today. He was his normal off-the-wall self, right? He was doing all the Jim Harbaugh stuff that you know is not a act for anyone. Now, I don't necessarily always agree with the Jim Harbaugh act, but it's not an act, right? It is who he is. So I want Dave Canales. Dave Canales, if he's mini Pete Carroll, if he is who he is, be who you are. Don't let people shame you into anything. Or maybe this is like we're reaching, but it's a metaphor, right? We're in the wishy-washy, crunchy granola part of this. Wear shorts again tomorrow, right? Because if you look at the picture, there's not many shorts. It's pretty much you and Andy Reid. Right? Don't go, ooh, I didn't realize only a 3-time Super Bowl champion in the last 5 years gets to wear shorts. I'll go back to my slacks tomorrow. No. If you like the way your ankles look, show them off. If you're doing it for some other reason, you can do that too. From an actual X's and O's standpoint, now we'll get into kind of the more concrete stuff. I just want to continuously and repeatedly and confidently feel that they have a plan for Bryce Young's, do we call it a rehabilitation? I don't know what we call it. A restoration? Restoration might be better.
Reclamation? Restoration?
Reclamation?
Yeah.
Some R word that ends with ation. Rehabilitation, reclamation, restoration, one of them. I want to continuously feel that you have a plan. You don't have to tell me the plan, but there better be a plan. And then as moves happen, explain why, right? Deontay Johnson, you made a trade. It was a great trade. I love it. Give me some justification behind it. Give me why you felt to make the move on that one. Give me why you brought in David Moore, a veteran wide receiver with almost no experience, but was on Tampa with you last year. Why is he a guy you're bringing with you? Like, I want to know the plan after it happens, and then just make it feel like you have a plan moving forward that you know how to execute, because that's what this season is about. That's what this season is about. That's what this offseason has been about. Why did you think it was important to bring in interior offensive linemen and spend $153 million over the next 5 years on guards? Why does that benefit Bryce? Why do you think an undersized quarterback's going to be stepping up in the pocket rather than escaping the pocket? Again, you don't have to tell me everything you're doing moving forward, but, like, guess what? You signed Robert Hunt to a 5-year, $100 million deal. You can tell me why you like him now, right? There's no market out there that you'd be setting yourself up for, right? I completely understand if you don't want to tell me why you like or don't like anyone in the draft, because you don't want somebody to jump over you. You don't want somebody to try to make a trade to one-up you. I get that. But once you sign him to a 5-year, $100 million deal, explain why they're going to help Bryce. Explain why they're going to help your offense. Explain why you're going to lean on them, or how you're going to lean on them to make your offense much better than it was a season ago. It's about building confidence right now. As a first-time head coach, right, as a first-time captain of the ship, you need people to follow you into battle without a track record. It's easy to follow Tomlin. It's easy to follow Belichick. It's easy to follow Reid, right? Because guess what they do? They bring out a Super Bowl ring and go, you want one? Follow me. Everyone's like, yeah, let's go. Canales can't even bring out a single regular season win and say, you want one? Follow me. So how do you build confidence? How do you build that following without any history? Well, you bring everybody along slowly, right? You show that you know what you're doing. You show that you're adequate. You show that you have a plan to get there that fans and internal staffers can believe in. You're swimming with the big boys now. You're in the Shark Tank. Show that you're comfortable there.
You better exude confidence, because if you don't, your players are going to sniff that out real fast.
Well, and going back to what I was saying, both things. If you're inauthentic or not confident, they'll sniff both of them out. Mm-hmm. So you have to. It's like, well, what do I do if I'm not confident? Get confident.
Fake it.
Fake it, but not so much that it's obvious, because that's almost worse, right? It's a very difficult deal. No one said being a head coach in the NFL was going to be easy. Matter of fact, most say it's going to be very, very hard.
Yeah.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at the Law Tigers. The Law Tigers, Tobacco Road, Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, easy for me to say, and York Carolina Hurricanes, they're all teaming up together to give the ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. By the way, the bike's going to be given away on April 5th, which is next week. April 5th on Friday at the game. That's next week, folks. So you better enter today. Go to caniacsbike.com. Again, that is caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this custom-painted beauty of a bike. Over 30,000 people have signed up to win this thing so far. Over 30,000, which is awesome. I cannot wait to figure out who is actually going to win this bike. I can't, but you can if you go to caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm. By the way, think about on like a beautiful spring day, rolling up the PNC Arena on your Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle for a Canes playoff game. How awesome does that sound?
Pretty darn awesome.
I know, pretty darn awesome. I want that bike. I can't win it, though.
It is like torture for Dennis.
It really is.
Let's see how many times we can get you in a room with something you really want but can never have.
That sounds terrible. That sounds awful. I've actually been looking to get a Softail motorcycle.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've actually been looking to get one.
There you go.
And I'm like, I want that one.
Can't have it.
I know.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Again, Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. Feel free to call in and brag up on your team. We have the Podium coming up. Why should your team have a gold medal, a silver medal, bronze medal, or why should they be off the podium? You will take all arguments. Probably a lot of arguments for gold after this past week, though. 919-860-5326. College basketball Podium coming up.
Bring on the madness.
Pass ahead, down to O'Connell. He'll dribble out the clock. It's all over. The Pack wins. 79-73 in overtime. You can light up the bell tower red and meet the Pack in Dallas, Texas, because NC State's going to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 9 years.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Carolina Ale House, Fairway Green, and Bailey's Fine Jewelry.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you've just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles' juicy golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun fried whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. Now you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces, and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy pay payouts right at your fingertips. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license.
Your new Academy Sports and Outdoor store is now open in Knightdale. It's the sporting goods store that's all about fun, where you'll always find the gear you need to enjoy the outdoors, play the games you love, and create memories that will last forever. Find great brands at the best prices, in-store and online. Your next adventure starts at the new Academy Sports and Outdoor store, now open in Knightdale. Visit Academy and have fun out there.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, like people who want a low down payment on state minimum coverage. Take Bailey. When her old car insurance got too expensive, do you think she started using a tandem bike for school drop-offs? No, she found Direct Auto and started saving. And you can too. Get a free quote at directauto.com or find a store near you. Direct Auto. Stop compromising. Keep driving. Terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
This is the time of year to enjoy life, isn't it? Everything's starting to bloom. Well, stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Adam Gold here, and this is a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you, so you can walk and run and climb and play and do anything you want pain-free. No pain pills, no surgery, all natural solutions. Live your best life this spring and summer. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 919-400-5473. 919-400-5473. 4 locations: Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. QC Kinetics.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will be live broadcasting from Carolina Ale House in Cary. There's Carolina Ale Houses all over the area, so make sure if you're going to come out and see us on Friday, Cary location. We'll get you primed for a historic night of Sweet 16 college basketball. State fans and Duke fans, join us early. Grab your seats. Get your orders in before tip-off. The Drive, live Friday from Carolina Ale House in Cary. So we'll be here for the entirety of our show, even a little late. We'll be on air till 6:30. So we'll get you lined up right up till game day, and we'll be doing some hanging out.
And if you can't make it there Friday, like I said, we're going to walk you right up to coverage starting at 6:30 from Westwood 1 on Friday.
And if you're looking for the NC State women, they're playing right now as well. There's so much basketball this week. It is unreal.
I know Duke women made it to the Sweet 16.
Duke women made it, which means both of their men's and women's programs. And NC State's looking to do the same. Tennessee Volunteers 17, NC State 14 at the moment. That one taking place, I believe, in Portland. So they're both a long way from home in that one. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're looking to move towards the podium. Okay, and what that means is over the last week, we are going to break down the 4 teams in the ACC from the state of North Carolina. But as I said before the break, if you wanted to give maybe a last-second plug for your team to move up the podium, we were going to open up the phone lines. Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. We're taking your bragging all day today. And we have on the line Hunter in Raleigh. I believe he's a Tar Heel fan. We'll go to Hunter. Hunter, thank you for calling in. You want to brag up on your team a little bit?
Yeah, I do.
All right, go ahead. The floor is yours.
I'd probably give us like a silver medal because, I mean, the first 10 minutes of that Michigan State game, we came out like we just got punched in the mouth and didn't know how to respond back. But I think if we start getting the right guys hot and don't let Cadeau start shooting the ball, we'll probably be fine. Because every time I see Cadeau take a shot, it's like, oh no, please don't. But the thing you need to have happen is, in the last Duke game is when you have somebody like Ryan getting hot. I think people will say Ingram is the X factor, which I mean he could be, but if you start having Ryan hit 15 plus in the rest of the games, I think that Carolina is probably going to be the toughest team to beat in the tournament, and that is including UConn. If he's on.
All right. I respect it. If you tell me Ryan's gonna shoot like he did against Duke and Cameron Indoor, I would say, yeah, they're probably the favorite. But that's a big what if. Cadeau, I do have to give Cadeau some credit though. You were a little harsh on Cadeau. He does a lot of other things really, really well. He might not have the distance shooting down, but he brings a lot of winning traits to the team.
Oh no, he's a great passer. I just hope that even if he's wide open, somebody telling him do not shoot, unless it's like 2 seconds on the shot clock. But he definitely, that's what he was brought in for anyway. Was he's a great passer that looks how to get people open. So that's his main role.
All right, I appreciate the call, Hunter. Again, the phone lines will remain open, 919-860-5326. You know what else Cadeau is good for? He's got a commercial that runs a ton during March Madness. So he might have a little bit of an acting career. There's a few with some UNC players on there. Off the podium is the easiest answer of the entire day. Wake Forest lost in the NIT. What do you want? What do you want us to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
I will give this though. Steve Forbes, he's an ACC guy, and he was waving the flag for the ACC, which I appreciate. Even in defeat, he was like, "Hey, conference is pretty good, right?" Which I appreciate. If you're going to lose in the NIT, lose with a little bit of an attitude for the entire conference. I'm fine with that. So off the podium, but a hat tip. No actual trophy or award, or medal, but like a knowing nod. We'll give you a knowing nod. We have history in the podium that's about to break right now. This was the hardest decision of the year. There's obviously 3 teams remaining. State, Duke, UNC. UNC, Duke, State. Duke, State, UNC, whatever order that makes it so people won't accuse me of being favoritist with how I list them. Which one gets the bronze? Which one gets the silver? Which one gets the gold? Let me give you the resumes real quick. This is a 1-week award, okay? So this is just the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. State made it to the Sweet 16 as an 11 seed.
Pretty remarkable.
They were a 10 seed in the ACC tournament. This doesn't even get included in that. They're just as an 11 seed. They made it to the Sweet 16. They won in overtime. They have one of the players who's going to be featured heavily in One Shining Moment, one of the stories of the tournament. They're doing pretty well for themselves. Duke thrashed James Madison and actually probably had the 2 most low-stress wins of the 3.
For sure.
They just methodically won 2 games and are playing the best basketball they've played all year. And when I say they thrashed James Madison, I mean they thrashed James Madison. They had a freshman shooter break the Duke record for threes in a tournament game. I mean, and he was challenging some records. Like, you look at the records, it's like J.J. Redick shooting records. Those are good ones to be breaking.
Yeah, you're pushing John Shire's scoring record.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Zion Williamson, freshman tourney scoring record. Like, you're right on the heels of it. When you're chasing those records, some things are going pretty well for you. And then there's UNC, who is ho-hum, a number 1 seed that won both of their games fairly handily and is cruising into the Sweet 16 as one of the betting favorites to win the entire thing. So you tell me, which one would you give the bronze out of that group? You tell me, which one are you going to say you didn't have a gold medal week in that group?
We deliberated over this for a good length of time earlier today.
We brought in, like, third opinions.
Yeah.
We were sitting there going, I don't know what to do here. Normally, even the tough decisions, I think, like in our heart of hearts this year when we're doing the podium, eventually, like, Dennis and I look at each other and we're like, they got to be silver, right? And we're like, yeah. They got to be bronze, right? Yeah. Here's the history. 3-way tie. One time, it'll never happen again. I promise you, they are splitting the gold, the silver, and the bronze. It's one of those hokey moments that only happen in like Disney Channel original movies where whoever is on the gold platform is going to look at the other two and wave them up. They're going to say, "Come join me on the top," and then they're all going to put their medals in a one pile and all hold them up. I don't know how else you. It's a method of what you like. It's in the eye of the beholder. And here's what I mean by that. Do you like Cinderellas? Do you like underdog stories? Mm-hmm. Is that what you think March Madness is about? Then State is your gold medalist. But if you're about who's playing the best, State needed overtime to beat Oakland. You can't put them above UNC and Duke, who played against probably better programs, better teams, and looked much better against them. It's one of my favorite analogies, right? It's not a debate of quality. It's a debate of taste, right? And my analogy always is, who do you think is better, Foo Fighters or Jay-Z? Your answer there is going to be completely based on what style of music you like. It's not going to be a quality answer, right? It's like, longevity. Well, they've both been doing it for a long time, since the 90s. Popularity. Well, they both go on massive tours and fill massive stadiums and sell massive amounts of records. But let me guess. If you're a hip-hop fan, you think Jay-Z is better. If you're a rock fan, you think Foo Fighters is better. Who's had the better NCAA tournament? NC State or UNC? Let me guess. If your favorite part of the last few years was St. Peter's, you like NC State. Let me guess. If the top of your bracket has 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four, you like UNC. It's more of a question about you than them. So this will never happen again. But when our interest is winners, 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 we reward people that win. How do you look at 3 teams that are all in the Sweet 16, all overcoming different odds, and say this one was better than that one?
And UNC having to face Michigan State and Tom Izzo.
In the regular season, I think we can dive more into like the who's has better wins, right? It's this team won and their bench played well, which gives them more confidence moving forward. This team didn't play well but got the win anyway, so that's them learning how to win without their fastball. We can do more of that. In the NCAA tournament, it's not about that. It's about point blank period. Did you have more points than the other team? Do you get to play next week and they don't? The NCAA tournament is pass fail, right? It is go, no go. It is very much like in or out. So we have 3 teams that are in, and there's no real levels to it, right? I guess if you win the national championship, then when you're being ranked against other national champions, they'll look at like average margin of victory to see where you are in your legacy. But if until we get there, it is very much, did you win or did you lose? Let's hear how some of these teams did it, and then you can decide. Harrison Ingram really stepped up for UNC. Here he is on energizing his offense.
For me, it's all about team basketball. And today, I was open, and they found me. Armando, RJ, Elliott, they found me, and I was open. And luckily, I was able to open the shots. But as for us as UNC, we're all about the team, and we played together today.
Oh, team first, team always, team only, huh? He needs to take credit. It's good to see him back. We just had the caller, which, by the way, Heister Automotive Group hotline open, 919-860-5326 for you to brag up on your team. We just had the caller, Hunter, call in, and he was saying, we need Cormac Ryan to shoot like he did against Duke. I think Harrison Ingram needs to play an exceptional brand of basketball, not necessarily just scoring or just shooting, but his all-round game if UNC wants to win a national championship. Duke, how can you argue with what Duke did against James Madison? How in the world can you look at a team in the second round of the NCAA tournament that systematically dismantles their opponent and takes their will to compete away from them and say, yeah, you're going to be a bronze? Can't do it. Can't do it. You know actually what we should do? This just solved our problem.
Okay.
It's like when there's a tie in golf.
Mm-hmm.
Skins. Double or nothing next hole.
Okay.
Double or nothing. Next week when we do Podium, these three will be competing, and they'll be competing for twice the golds, twice the silvers, twice the bronze. You've played even. It's a skins match. It rolls over to the next hole. Duke dismantled James Madison. James Madison had lost 3 times all year. That is very much a team that is not used to losing. They're not going to be good losers, right? What's the saying? You show me someone that is a good loser, I'll show you someone that loses a lot. They should have been a really bad loser. Duke beat them so profoundly that with 3 minutes left, James Madison was happy to be there, taking pictures, doing the senior day thing where they look around at the stands and go, I want to remember this. The coach was probably already negotiating his deal with Vanderbilt, which he accepted today. He's on the sideline making eye contact with his agent with 2 minutes left going, how many millions? How many years? That's what Duke did to them in a large part because of Jared McCain, who shot the absolute lights out. He had 30 points. He had 8 threes. Here's McCain on when he knew he was feeling it.
I feel like every game I'm always ready to see if I'm going to go off. I work so hard, so I'm just prepared every game. I do blame him a little bit for sure. He definitely just wants to keep that record. Yeah, I wanted to beat him, so.
It's not mine. He's talking about the points record. That's what he's talking about.
I just want to be him, really. That's all. That's really all my goal is in life, is to be him. But yeah, that's really it.
You had a good day when the coach has to chime in to clarify which record you were talking about. Could have been the freshman NCAA tournament points record held by Zion. Could have been it was, because he did break it, the 3-point record held by J.J. Redick. Could have been the points record held by Shire. Could have been this record. Could have been that record. And then, of course, there's State as well. I don't know how you tell them they're anything but a gold medalist at the moment, which is why we've kicked it down the road to next week. But here's Kevin Keats, their coach, on with Adam Gold, talking about the nation learning about what we've known about for a while, the player that is DJ Burns.
It's funny because now the national audience is kind of seeing what everybody in the ACC and the people around Raleigh have seen. He's a great story. Big teddy bear, great. Touch, soft feet, quick on his feet, can do some different things. And, just one of those, great guys to be around. And I think he's taking his game to another level. He and I spoke after the season last year, and he just did not like the way he ended the season against Creighton and didn't play well. And so I knew once we got back into postseason, it was going to be a different DJ Burns.
And all of that adds up to what we're going to talk about next. Those 3 teams being so fantastic, all golds, if you will. Clemson, who we have the bracket behind us here on YouTube and on our WRAL Sports Fan live stream. Clemson cruising through New Mexico and Baylor on their way to the Sweet 16 where they will face Arizona leads me to say this. Where's all the naysayers, all the doubters, all the haters of the ACC now?
All those stooges?
Just like every single year, the ACC is proving its quality, its toughness, its level of play in the tournament, and all the doubters can take it and do you-know-what with it. They can shove it somewhere. The ACC had 4 teams make the round of 64. They have 4 teams still playing in the Sweet 16. The Big East has 3 teams. I have no qualms with the Big East. I think they play a good brand of basketball. I think they're a basketball conference. I'm fine with that. The Big Ten has 2 teams. The Big 12 has 2 teams. The Big 12 gamed the system in the way they schedule to get more teams into the NCAA tournament because the net rankings loved them, and they lost. Three-fourths of the teams lost before the Sweet 16. They have 2 teams left. The SEC has 2 teams left. I guess their commissioner, Greg Sankey, talked a bit too early about making sure that the big the power conference teams have more chances because they're the competitive ones.
Mm-hmm.
Pac-12. The Mountain West had more teams in the NCAA tournament than the ACC. The Pac-12, the Mountain West, and the West Coast Conference have 1 team in the Sweet 16. Clemson and NC State are still playing, which tells you this. The criticism of the ACC was they have Duke, they have UNC, they have Duke, and everything else was hogwash. If you take out Duke and UNC from the equation, the ACC has as many or more teams in the Sweet 16 than everybody other than the Big East. Where's your argument now? And this is not new. This happens every year. We're going to be doing this again next year. In January, I'm going to be on this. Dennis is going to be on that mic. I'll be on this mic, and we'll be saying, I don't know why everyone hates the ACC. And then in February, we're going to go, gosh, they're really beating each other up. They're really making each other battle-tested. And then in March, they're not going to have as many in the ACC tournament. Sorry, they're not going to have as many make the NCAA tournament because that's subjective. And then as soon as we get past the subjective part, as soon as we get past the people making decisions based on how they feel, what they think, as soon as we get to the part where it's proven with scoreboards, the ACC will thrive again because that's the way it happens. Brad Brownell, obviously the coach of Clemson, one of 4 ACC teams in the Sweet 16, talked with Scott Van Pelt on SportsCenter. Here's what he had to say.
You know, it's very satisfying. I've been talking all year. I mean, I've been in this league 14 years now, and so I've seen it. And there seems like these last several years we haven't gotten as much respect. But then the NCAA tournament comes around, and our teams all do very well. I knew this league was really, really deep, and you know, it's crazy that NC State finished 10th in our league. But man, they are so talented. Kevin's done a really good job. They're playing their best basketball. Obviously, Duke and Carolina are terrific. You know, I really thought Pitt and Wake are both NCAA tournament worthy and easily could make Sweet 16. So our league has just been really, really good. And you know, it hasn't maybe made that way nationally, but until now, I guess.
I'm going to cite Daniel Tosh one more time, the stand-up comedian. He has a joke about people that say they're bad test takers, right? He's like, oh, you're really smart right up until we test how much you know. Right? People say they're bad test takers. Again, I'm not going to do the full Daniel Tosh stand-up. But I will say this. All these conferences were so much better than the ACC right up until we found out who was better on the floor. Right up until they played each other. Right up until the 10th best team in the ACC this year is still playing in the Sweet 16.
And Clemson beat a 3 seed in Baylor from the Big 12.
Which we knew the Big 12 was fool's gold.
And we knew that in the regular season.
That's
the ACC
exactly
went 9-3 against them.
Every other team is better, according to Joe Lunardi. Every other conference is better, according to John Rothstein. Every other conference is better until they play basketball. And I guess they're good at debate. I guess they're good at publicizing. They have good publicists. Every team is better until they play basketball. Once they play basketball, it's pretty obvious. And I foolishly was worried when UVA lost in the first 4. I went, oh gosh, people are going to use this against the ACC. The ACC looked at me and said, no, you're good. I got this.
We got you.
No, I know you've been backing us up all year. Don't get worried. We'll go undefeated in the first weekend. How's that sound?
We're just going to lull everyone into a false sense of security here.
That's just UVA. They're strange. They play a weird brand of basketball. All the teams that play a more complete brand, that can play up and down, that can play, we'll just go ahead and take care of business. So now, like, I actually look at it this way, right? Because the big concern with what the Big 12 did this year, and I even voiced it a few times, is if you reward conferences for doing what the Big 12 did, and if you weren't paying attention, I'll tell you what they did. They scheduled nobody in the non-conference schedule. Won those games by 40, right, because they were playing pushovers, and that boosted each team's individual net ranking. So then when they played in conference play against each other, every win was a big win because you had a high net ranking from mollywhopping nobodies in the non-conference schedule. And then every win, they beat each other kind of in circles, right? Like I beat Team A beats Team B, Team B beats Team C beats Team Me. And then everybody's net ranking is high because they're all big wins. And the problem was if you motivate that, if you reward that, if you give them, 8 teams in the NCAA tournament like you did, because of that, then other conferences would follow suit. I motivate the ACC not to do that. Either let the selection committee come around to the way you do it is better, or be okay sending 4.5 prepared teams to the NCAA tournament and having 4 in the Sweet 16, rather than sending 8 teams to the NCAA tournament like the Big 12 and the SEC did, and having just 2 teams make it to the Sweet 16 because they're not prepared. The way the ACC did it may not have produced the most NCAA tournament teams, but they produced the most prepared NCAA tournament teams. Right? It's not just about getting the most shots at it. It's about getting the most shots that you're prepared to take advantage of at it. Would you rather have 8 unprepared teams like the SEC and then talk trash like you're Greg Sankey before the first weekend and then be embarrassed after the first weekend? Or would you rather be like the ACC, have 1 team in the first 4 teams in the round of 64, and have them all make the Sweet 16 of the teams that were there playing in the round of 64? That's the question. And I'm taking the ACC every darn time. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back to talk a little Canes. If the Canes are going to say cause chaos as their main deal, that's going to be their mantra. They definitely did that in at least one of the games over the weekend. Before we get there, though, I want to tell you about my friend Coach Pete and everyone over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. It's been a while since I hit you with the rhetorical questions that I will answer for you. Wouldn't it be great to get an income you never have to worry about being taken away from you all the way through retirement? Wouldn't it be great to have an income that did not depend on the stock market success for your success? Wouldn't it be great to have a plan that is designed to maximize your lifetime income? Now I'll answer them for you. Heck yes, and heck yes. Well, you can make that a reality with the help of Coach Pete and his fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial. Coach Pete will help you regain control of your foundation for retirement and see you to and through a worry-free retirement. Call now. I almost said worry-fee. That would be a hidden fee. They're good at finding those hidden fees and getting rid of them. Worry-free retirement. Call now for Coach Pete's fabulous and elaborate total retirement plan with 22 steps that go along with the process of identifying your unique financial composition and the best way to navigate the journey along the way to and through retirement. Call 800-691-3215. Make sure they know I sent you. Say Tim from 99.9 The Fan. Or text just my name, TIM, to 600-700. Once again, the phone number, 800-691-3215, or text Tim, TIM, to 600-700. That's all happening in Capital Financial Advisory Group. When we come back, the Canes caused chaos over the weekend. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Stick around.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK10 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? Research shows consumers who trade in their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in, sell it to We Buy Any Car. Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Research published in the Journal of Industrial Economics December 2015 showed buyers with a trade-in pay an average of $990 more than those who do not trade in their used cars.
The moment we've been waiting for has arrived. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today using code NEWNC. Then place your first bet of $10 or more, and win or lose, you'll receive $250 in bonus bets. Open to new users in North Carolina who are 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos or the promos tab in the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagamenc.gov. Tribal Casino Gaming Enterprise is a licensed operator by the North Carolina State Lottery Commission.
Avenged sevenfold in concert. A7X. Friday, March 29th, PNC Arena, Raleigh, with special guests Poppy and Sullivan King. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Avenged sevenfold. Live. Produced by Live Nation. New album, Life is But a Dream. Out now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
The Body Armor State Games are coming to Charlotte this June. Registration is open to athletes of all ages and skill levels in 25 different sports. The Body Armor State Games feature 13,000 athletes and 700 teams. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Visit bodyarmorstategames.org today. The Body Armor State Games are proud to partner with Truist, Harris Teeter, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
For a limited time, you can buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $2.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Tries to clear, comes across. Andersen gets across, and it's kept up by Shea on the rebound for Matthews. Oh, Mr. Andersen getting some help from his defense, and he bailed himself out as well on an ill-fated clear.
Yeah, he felt good about that previous clear. What a save!
Oh,
another
Matthews
one.
out in front. Unbelievable! Matthews went between the legs. Andersen wasn't buying, and he'll make the save.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I think there's two games we have to talk about for the Canes since we've last been on. One was on Friday, one was on Sunday. One was at Washington, one was versus Toronto. They were both Canes games. It's about all they have in common. The Canes were participants in both of them.
They're both one-goal games, sort of.
Yeah, I'm not fully.
Yeah, that's what I said, sort of.
Here's the deal. I think the Friday game took the vibe of March Madness and ran with it. Right? They said, like, chaos, trick shots. It feels like it's being dependent upon 19-year-olds that you don't know really what's going on. Perfect. That's what we're going to do. It was a 6-6 game that ended up going to a shootout. Washington won 7-6 in the fifth round in the shootout. It's bananas. It was chaotic, which is kind of what the Canes are going for. Mm-hmm. Cause chaos. It's their hashtag. Sometimes it is just like the sports world, the sports powers that be. I feel like they just rub some things in your face, right? What I mean by that is last week, actually on Friday, I pointed out that the Canes were winning seemingly every different kind of game, right? Shutouts, high scoring, 4-1, come from behind, games where you let the team come back and then have to make a little burst at the end to put them away again. They had beat like every different kind of game. Well, that's when the sports world looks at you and goes, every kind of game? Well, what about this one? What about a absolutely ridiculous 6-6 back-and-forth game that ends in the 5th round of the shootout against the Caps, which is surely an emotional game for both Dmitry Orlov and Evgeny Kuznetsov, that actually features a hat trick from one of your best, if not your best player in Sebastian Aho, including the final goal that just goes off his torso and into the goal. Like, how about that? Can they win that one? You say they can win every kind of game. Can they win that one? Well, they got a point. Does that count? And then to follow it up with a 2-1 victory over Toronto at home, that's like going from a funhouse mirror to, like, I don't even know where to go with that one. A haunted house to your house, right? A haunted house to home. It's like you never know what to expect in one game and you know exactly what to expect in the next. To follow up that ridiculous game on Friday with a 2-1 victory over Toronto at home, it felt like it was they were getting, I don't know, actually this. It felt like they were sobering up. Did you ever watch Ted Lasso?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There's an episode in, I think, season 2. Spoiler alert, everybody, if you haven't watched like the most watched show of 5 years ago. Season 2, where Beard, the assistant coach, goes on like a trip.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like you were going from that to sober, going from Friday to the Toronto game, right? Where you're running around, everything's crazy. You don't know what's real and what's fake. Did that actually happen? Did that goal actually get given up? Did he actually get a hat trick? Like, what is going on here? To suddenly, like, the very Keynesian, very down the middle, your goalie's playing really well, you're going to win a game with opportunistic offense 2-1. So I like that they were able to lock it in the second game. Right? That one with the Friday game was wild.
Mm-hmm. That was a weird one.
It was a weird one, and the best thing you can do is just not let the ripple effects hit another game, right? Don't let a game like that beat you twice. Don't let a game like that take you off your rhythms. So I like that they were able to lock it in. I like that they were able to get back to a more traditional win. Right? That is something, right? If you know me, you know I'm always looking towards how things affect the postseason because the Canes can't prove anything to me in the regular season. Whether their season is a success or failure will be judged by how far they make it and if they hoist the cup in the postseason. So I like when you can take a game that's crazy and flush it quick. You're going to have to do that in the postseason a couple times, a few times, handful of times, where there's a game where you're just like, man, we lost that one?
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy, but it felt like we should have won. And you're going to have to come back 2 days later, and you're going to have to play against a good team, and it might be on the road, it might be at home, and you're going to have to flush it and not let it beat you twice and get on to the next. And that's exactly what they did. And we have to give one more hat tip to a guy that helped them flush it and get on to the next. Frederik Andersen. I guess we were all the foolish ones for worrying about how a 4-month absence would affect his play because he has come out of that absence playing lights out. Maybe it's fresh legs. Do fresh legs matter? I mean, they can't matter that much. Like, hey.
No, this time of year, yeah.
You think having, like, it can't be the difference between, like, he's 6-0, by the way, since returning with a 95% save percentage. 1.34 goals allowed against. 7.71 goals saved above average per game. That's absurd, by the way. Kane Stats on Twitter. Follow him. That is a very, very good run. I refuse to say, like, oh, he's just the freshest, right? I refuse to say, like, that's not somebody jumping in on the 8th lap of the 800 or the 2 mile and saying, like, well, of course you won the last lap. Everyone else is exhausted. Like, he's playing legitimately well regardless of, oh, he's got fresher legs than everybody else.
Well, I think it's fresher legs, but also like fresh mind, if that makes sense, because it's so mentally taxing having to get up every single, like 3 games a week. Right? I know goaltenders, they rotate a little bit more, but still, that's mentally wears you down. All the travel and all that stuff, that stuff absolutely wears you down.
Like, is
this
it,
time of year?
Is it really like every skater is like dead-faced, and he's like tapping him on the shoulder like, want to go for a jog? Like, hey, what are we doing tomorrow morning, guys? What time are we getting up? Let's knock something out before 6 a.m. Like, it can't be. He's like, it's a fluid thing between him and Kochetkov.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm moving Freddie to the pole position, and I'm not saying like once he gets tired we'll reevaluate. Like, I think he's just playing better goalie, and he deserves credit for that.
I mean, you got to think, because of the reset with him being gone for 4 months, this is the reset of him. This is his, like, November. That's really what this is, his November. When, hey, you're feeling fresh, the body feels good, you haven't had a little tweak of something here or there, knock on wood. You haven't had to deal with that. I know, but
direct your letters to @thefanrookie on
Twitter.
Yes,
please do. That's why I knocked on wood. But again, I think it really does matter, because he doesn't have November, December, January, February, and now March wear and tear on.
But let's be real. What did the first month of the Canes look like?
Pretty crappy. But that was a team thing.
But he doesn't need to play himself into a rhythm. He's come, like, if you would have told me he's rusty, I would have believed you. If he was playing rough through his first 6 games, I would have been like, I'm not writing him off. Let's give him some time here. He needed like a minute and a half to get into mid-season form.
He was rusty that first game. Got a win, but it was still a little rusty.
A minute and a half.
Yeah.
I get it, but I think you look at this and you say Kochetkov is the best number 2 goalie in the mix right now.
It's a great problem to have.
It is a great problem to have. And I don't know if you mix up the rotation once you get to the postseason, but Freddie, he's playing well. Playing very well.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it all happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with no documentation. With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Here's the thing. Your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for a home improvement project. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll get to the starting 5 up next, including the ACC has something for all the doubters out there. Stick around.
Bring on the madness.
Ingram, a 3 from the left wing is nothing but net. Do it, big boy. Deals up 40-31. Michigan State has time the other way. Hogarth down low to Sissoko, tipped away by Bacon, and that's how the half will end. Carolina closes the first half on a 23-3 run.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
You call that a precision stop?
When a rookie stunt driver,
Just give me a shot.
meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all,
Come on, focus.
they'll soon find out that behind the wheel of the Nissan Rogue, with the power of VC turbo and the most fuel-efficient gas-powered engine in its class,
Watch this.
the protege can become a master. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Level up your drive with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Auto Pacific segmentation excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. For well-qualified buyers, 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2023 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 60 months financing at $1,748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 4/1/24.
At Bet365, they don't do ordinary. They believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Save big during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's with limited time deals on everything you need. Right now, buy one select DeWalt 20-volt max tool, get one DeWalt 20-volt max power stack battery 2-pack free, a $179 value. Plus, save $20 on a select bucket of Deck Plus wood screws. Find these deals and more in-store and online today. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/18 through 3/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement. When he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100%, feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. Beautiful but cool day today. It'll be partly cloudy and not as cold tonight. The low temperature about 39. Partly cloudy and dry for your Tuesday, 64. Rain arrives on Wednesday, lasting through Thursday as well.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 162 points to 39,313.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, kicks off the 5 o'clock hour on a Monday, just like we kick off the 5 o'clock hour every day here on The Drive. And that's with the starting five, starting with number 5. If you've been a believer in the ACC as a basketball conference all season, you're one of us, and we've won. If you've been a loyal follower of bracketologists like Joe Lenardi or national media members like John Rothstein, who repeatedly told us the ACC wasn't deserving of bids into the NCAA tournament, that, with certain losses, they may be down to 2 or 3 teams. You're just wrong. The ACC has 4 teams in the Sweet 16. That is the most of any conference. Confirming what we've been saying all year. It's the best basketball conference in the country. And there's a saying, until you're beaten, you're undefeated, right? And what that means is you have to get knocked off to lose, right? Until somebody knocks the ACC off, they're the best basketball conference in the country. And Clemson, what were they, a 6th seed in the ACC tournament? NC State, a 10 seed in the ACC tournament?
Mm-hmm.
These are teams that did not run through their conference, yet they make it to the NCAA tournament. They make it to the Sweet 16, and what's the national opinion, right? You heard it on Unsportsmanlike this morning. There's no Cinderellas in this year's NCAA tournament. Oh, this year's first round was bored. The tournament wasn't good because there's no upsets. There's no Cinderellas. All right, which one is it? Is it the ACC is no good, which would make both Clemson and NC State upsets and Cinderellas? Or are you agreeing with what we're agreeing, which is that the ACC is the best conference in the country, and them having 4 teams in the Sweet 16, a fourth of the teams remaining, makes sense. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that the ACC didn't deserve to have more than 2 or 3 teams in the tournament, and then when they have 4 in the Sweet 16, complain that there were no surprises. Here's Brad Brownell, the head coach of Clemson, when he was on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt.
It's very satisfying. I've been talking all year. I've been in this league 14 years now, and so I've seen it, and there seems like these last several years we haven't gotten as much respect, but then the NCAA tournament comes around and our teams all do very well. I knew this league was really, really deep, and it's crazy that NC State was finished 10th in our league, but man, they are so talented. Kevin's done a really good job. They're playing their best basketball. Obviously, Duke and Carolina are terrific. I really thought Pitt and Wake are both NCAA tournament worthy and easily could make Sweet 16. So our league has just been really, really good, and it hasn't maybe made that way nationally, but until now, I guess.
If I'm Wake Forest, I'm going, well, maybe if everybody thought more highly of NC State when we beat them in the regular season, and Clemson when we beat them in the regular season, and Duke when we beat them in the regular season, maybe you would have considered putting us in. Pittsburgh doesn't have quite the same argument because although they did beat Duke, they did beat a Sweet 16 team. They did beat NC State. They did beat another Sweet 16 team. They did beat NC State twice. I don't know, man. It's. I think it's easy to say you have 4 teams in the Sweet 16. Only the Big East has more than 2 other than you. You can rub that in the face of some doubters along the way. Now just keep it up, right? Keep winning. Keep making us more right. We'll keep backing you up if you keep making us more right. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
The Canes got points in both of their games over the weekend. They did win against Toronto on Sunday at home, 2-1. Let's get the breakdown out of the way from our good friend Adam Gold. Here is our 2 minutes of hockey for the Canes game yesterday.
All right, boys and girls, I've got 2 minutes for 2 points, almost entirely provided by one man. And it's all brought to us by Dysart Willis. Dysart Willis is joining Maynard Nexon. You can find out all about it at MaynardNexon.com. Let's get to last night's 2-1 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sure, Carolina scored 2 goals in the first period. Sure, they could have had a lot more. For heaven's sake, Jake Gensel had 2 breakaways, one on a penalty shot and the other one just out of the run a play on an amazing pass from Seth Jarvis, but Carolina didn't score on either of them. They did get a power play goal off the skate. Sebastian Aho now has points in 6 straight games. Brady Shea had a goal 105 in. But the entire reason why the Hurricanes won this game is Frederik Andersen. What he did to his best friend, Austin Matthews, is downright criminal here in the second period.
Now this puck rolls in. Andersen tries to clear. It comes across. Andersen gets across, and it's kicked out by Shea on the rebound for Matthews. Oh, Mr. Andersen getting some help from his defense, and he bailed himself out as well on an ill-fated clear.
It was incredible. What you didn't hear there was another chance in the same sequence where Matthews went between the legs. Like, what is this, a trick shot competition? And Andersen still was up to the task. He made 31 saves, including this one in the third period.
Now a chance for the Leafs out in front, and Andersen gets a stick to McMahon. It was a 2-on-0 in close, and Andersen with another massive save.
Yeah, it was a 2-on-0. Incredible stuff. Freddie Andersen, since his return, these numbers are silly, people. 6 wins in 6 starts, 8 goals allowed, and a .951 save percentage. That is brick wall status. That's right, brick wall. You would think he's in Pink Floyd. Never mind. Anyway, since returning, Frederik Andersen has an expected goals allowed of 17.5 in all situations. He's allowed 8 goals. Basically, he should have given up at this point 17 or so goals. He's given up 8. That's how good he has been. And in high danger situations, he has stopped 49 of 51 shots. That is about 98%. In contrast, Pyotr Kochetkov actually, over the last 3 months of the season, leads the NHL in high danger save percentage at 87%. And Andersen, in his 6 starts, is at about 98%. It is incredible. What a run. Freddie Andersen, welcome back. Hurricanes 1 point out of the top spot in the entire NHL. All brought to us by Dysart Willis. High stakes litigation and defense. They're joining Maynard Nexsen. Go to maynardnexsen.com and find out.
A lot of numbers there from Adam. Dove deep into the Freddie numbers. You know what number was my favorite? 1 point out of the top spot in the entire NHL.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I didn't realize that. I was like,
well, when you say it like that,
put it that way. Okay.
Things must be going well. They are. The trade deadline was good to the Canes. Freddie's return, which came right around the trade deadline. So it's really like, since the deadline, they got Freddie, who's playing some of the best goalie in the NHL, Gensel, who's playing some of the best forward in the NHL, and Kuzi, who's like a wonderful personality hire who's actually being pretty productive as well. That's as good of a deadline as you can have. And yeah, they're 1 point out of the top spot in the NHL. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Duke destroyed James Madison yesterday. They fairly well-controlled Vermont in their opener. And they're playing the best basketball they've played all year. At the time, you want to be playing the best basketball you've played all year. I still, and I said this earlier, I'm not willing to write off my biggest concern. They are playing their best basketball. My biggest concern has not been shooting, which Jared McCain was like, got it. It has not been post-play, which at different times, Filipowski did well against James Madison. Mitchell and Stewart have had their moments. My concern is their mental edge, their intestinal fortitude. And you can only test that against a good team in a close game, and they haven't had that yet. And make no mistake about it, there's a lot of games hanging over the head of Duke, okay? What I mean by that is there's still the ACC tournament hanging over Duke, where they showed up as the 2 seed, played NC State, and went home the next day. Like, it was very much in. It was the Homer Simpson meme, where you walk in, you walk out, right? That's what it was. Then there's the UNC games hanging over Duke, right? They've played a couple top 5 teams in the regular season and didn't necessarily go great, right? And then there's last year's Tennessee game in the tournament, in which case I think it's fair to say they got bullied, right? Tennessee was a physical team, and they said, what if, hear me out. This is what Tennessee said to Duke. What if we played a new hybrid sport that is like 50% basketball, 50% bare knuckle brawling? And Duke went, just got knocked out. All of those games are kind of still hanging over Duke, and no matter how much you beat James Madison by, you can't beat those memories out of you, right? Here's Kyle Filipowski on what he learned from that Tennessee game last year.
Obviously, Jared wasn't here last year to experience what we went through, but none of us forgot about what happened with Tennessee in the second round, and I think that just added a little bit more fire to us, to the returning guys, and we knew it was going to be a similar type of game. So I think we learned our lesson playing last year. We didn't want to repeat that at all. We just learned and moved on from that, and I think that showed tonight.
I don't think it can show tonight. You beat James Madison by 1 billion. I need to see it against Houston. I need to see it against a good team in a close game. I need to see it against a team that has as many NBA players as you have in a close game. I need to see it against a team that has been high level all year in a close game. Until then, I'm a skeptic. Until then, I'm a skeptic. And that's not an insult. That's just calling it like I see it, right? I've watched you play. It hasn't, by the way, it hasn't quite been Wake Forest levels, which is like, as soon as I believe in you, you fall apart in a good game. It's not that, but I've seen it enough times this year where you look great against a team that you can overmatch and push around, and then against a team that maybe matches up with you a little bit more, you leave a little bit to be desired in the attitude category. I've seen it enough that I'm leery. I'm a skeptic. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
UNC did the slow start to ramp up Modown thing again. Heck, NC State saw it, right? We're winning at half. Oh, no. Michigan State was like, we're winning well before half. Oh, no. Like, we're taking on water quickly.
Oh, no, we're down 9.
Oh, no, we're down 9 at half. We were up 14 in the first half. Now we're down 9 at half. How did that happen? It's the I'm using a lot of movie references today. It's the no. Boom, boom, boom. Fight over. Second half was a formality in a lot of ways. Here's Hubert Davis on what allowed UNC to storm back after finding themselves in that early hole.
Well, we started to compete. I mean, they punched first. Their physicality, their will, their want to. The first 10 minutes of the game just overwhelmed us. They were catching the ball wherever they wanted to, close to the basket, on the block. They were getting layups, second chance opportunities defensively. They were pushing us off of our screens, our spots. They just were playing better than us. And, we came into the huddle and I said, look, we can't talk about any basketball stuff until we join the fight. And once that started, the level of play in terms of the energy and effort, attention to detail rose, then that's when things started to change. And, we always talk about how do you react and how do you respond, and these guys, the whole team, reacted and responded the right way after going down, was at 14 in the first half.
Now, there's a flip side to every coin, right? We talk about that. Against the team that is like Michigan State. Hey, Dennis, did Michigan State deserve to be in the NCAA tournament?
No.
They were one of 2 teams in the entire field that won less than 20 games.
That were at-large teams.
I think in the entire field.
Maybe I have to go back and look. But definitely in terms of at-large for sure.
They won 19 games. I know that much. Here's the thing. UNC probably should make sure they start better against a team that's not Michigan State that won more than 19 games. And they're going to have more challenges down the stretch. But I do like that they don't run to the panic button. Right? I do like that they can find themselves down 14 in an NCAA tournament game. And make no mistake about it, this is a legacy year for a lot of people, right? Baycott, Davis, in some ways Hubert Davis. Like, this is a year as a 1 seed that you can rewrite the first line of your Wikipedia page, right? You can get people going in there and editing it to be much more favorable if you play well, make a Final Four, and beyond. They didn't go, oh gosh, we're down 14. Change everything. There was no hero ball. There were some heroes, right? Harrison Ingram made a bunch of threes. Like they still did what they do. But there was nobody going off script. There was nobody saying, fine, I'll do it myself. Everybody stayed true. And as I said earlier, I think it's one of the best things that UNC has going for them. They know exactly who they are as a basketball team. Because the thing is, like the run they went on and then the eventual kind of keeping it in control in the second half, there was nobody doing anything that they don't do well, right? This was not a game where, your seventh leading scorer off the bench made, 10 threes. This was a game where your shooters shot it pretty well. Your big guys rebounded and scored down low pretty well. Your point guard distributed the ball pretty well. It's like, yeah, that's all in their job description, right? I don't know. I'm not going to be surprised just because I don't know how it happened, but my my algorithms on social media think I was really interested in this. Justin Timberlake and NSYNC did like a reunion thing. I'm not going to be surprised when Justin Timberlake's singing lead for NSYNC. It's like he's the one that went on to the massive solo career, right? It's like as long as you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing, I'm not going to be surprised by it. And UNC never seems surprised. Right? They find themselves down. All right, leading singer, go sing. Right? Or if it's more like the Stones, more like the Rolling Stones, all right, you're going to play the guitar, I'm going to sing, right? You're going to be on drums. Like let's just do our role and put together a hit. Mowed down Michigan State, by the way. Mowed them down. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go one!
NC State beat Oakland. They needed overtime. Does that change anything for you, the fact that they needed overtime against Oakland?
No.
I looked at it like this. 2 of the teams of destiny in the tournament, like, what's his name, Golke?
Yeah, him.
Golke's going to be in one shining moment. They're going to show one of his jumpers against Kentucky, and everyone's going to go, oh, yeah, I like that guy. Right? He's going to be in commercials for another week. And he's I didn't even realize, maybe I did realize, but I forget about it every year. They do a 3-point contest at the Final Four. Golke's going to be in it. Like he's going to ride his wave. And State looked at that team of destiny with their it player and said, cool, we raise you our team of destiny, which started a week before yours, and we raise you our it player in DJ Burns, and we're going to one-up you in overtime. Here's Kevin Keats, the head coach of NC State, on that bending but not breaking against Oakland.
Our guys were tremendous. It was a back and forth game. We bent a little bit, but we never broke. We made big plays when we had to have big plays. I thought one of the biggest things for us is our character really shined through when we needed it. We stepped up in many ways. We had to get big stops. We had to get big baskets. At times, things wasn't going our way. And it just shows you the growth of, obviously this team and how they're locked in and their focus and, their love for one another and how they play for one another. It's been very impressive. This run that we've been on is really, really good. And all the credit has to go to the hard work that they put in.
The bend but not breaking is nice. You'd like it if you didn't bend. It did feel like they were in control most of the game until right at the end. Maybe there was a little bit of running out of steam. There was a lot of foul trouble. But again, when they needed to, even DJ Burns was like, "I'll play defense if it's in overtime." if it's a last resort, Middlebrooks and Diarra are both fouled out. Fine, I'll play some defense.
Didn't have much choice there.
But he did it, and he did enough to get the win. And obviously his offense was carrying the team for a large portion of the game. So, 42 minutes. I don't know if we've talked about that enough. 42 minutes for DJ Burns.
I mean, for anybody, that's a ton.
That's a great point. But If you look at...
You see NBA players doing 42 minutes.
Well, they'd get the next day off.
Yeah, it's true.
They'd sit out a couple maybe. But there's like long stretches of the season where you could combine back-to-back games. And Saturday, January 20th, and the previous game, January 16th against Wake, both of those games combined, DJ Burns played 38 minutes. Here we go. Pittsburgh in February 7th. In the previous game, Georgia Tech, February 3rd. Combined, he played 41 minutes. He played 42 in a must-win, obviously, NCAA tournament game against a team that was mostly guys running around, right? It's not like he was guarding somebody that was stationary. Like Oakland was trying to run and shoot. That's a good effort day by DJ Burns. Maybe it was adrenaline. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? But that's a good day for DJ Burns.
It's amazing that this team for NC State has won 7 winner-go-home games straight.
Starting at the beginning of the ACC
days.
tournament, the next loss is the last loss you have.
Exactly. So imagine being in that mental state for that many games in that short period of time. Because to win the NCAA tournament, you only got to win 6. But for them, they're going to have to win 11.
It's going to be the ultimate come down at the end.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has been in a situation where I don't know, you have to make a presentation at a conference 3 consecutive days and you've built up to it for months and you're locked in and your adrenaline is up. And then the day after that conference, you're like, whew, right? Everything, your body shuts down. You may catch a cold, right? Your adrenaline was coursing. Now ramp that up by 500 and do it over 3 weeks. And that's what State has been dealing with, or 2 weeks, 12 days. That's what they've been dealing with, and they're going to have another week on top of it. It is as soon as it stops, they're going to be like, oh, this is what it feels like to not have your adrenaline through the roof.
Oh, I could breathe now.
Yeah, it's like, oh, gosh, yeah, that weight on my chest, that wasn't permanent. Look at that. But the only time they relax is probably in game because it's the only time you're kind of compartmentalizing and playing. Everything else is crazy.
Everyone's gonna sleep for a week.
Not a joke. They're all gonna be
seriously.
like, "Did I have this cold last week?" It's like, no, my body didn't let me have that cold. You forced through it. It's gonna be that kind of crazy.
Hey, Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Law Tigers. The Law Tigers, Tobacco Road, Harley-Davidson, and Shiny Side Paint, along with your Carolina Hurricanes, they're all getting together to give the ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. But you need to enter now, now, because the bike's going to be given away on Friday next week, April 5th, live on the ice at the game. So you need to enter today. Go to caniacsbike.com. Again, that is caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this custom-painted beauty of a bike. Do it now. Over 30,000 people have entered to win this thing already, and I'm super stoked for the 3rd annual Caniacs Bike. The fact that this many people have signed up already. Absolutely awesome. But again, if you haven't seen it or you haven't checked it out, I'll post I've taking pictures with it. I'll post one up here at the Fan Rookie on social media here in just a sec. But you got to go to caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this bike. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
We need to get back to the numbers game. We didn't do it for the morning shows last week, but we're back. So we need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326. You can call in. The prize for the winner today, Stained and Breaking Benjamin are coming to Coastal Credit Union Music Park on Saturday, September 21st, with special guests Daughtry and Lakeview. If you want to win a pair of tickets, you have to play the numbers game. If you want to play the numbers game, you have to call in. 919-860-5326. Numbers game next.
Bring on the madness.
Ingram, a 3 from the left wing is nothing but net. Do it, big boy. Deals up 40-31. Michigan State has time the other way. Hogarth down low to Sissoko, tipped away by Bacot, and that's how the half will end. Carolina closes the first half on a 23-3 run.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you've just gotta have them, even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles' juicy golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun fried whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Hey, North Carolina, Adam Gold here, and you can say goodbye to busted brackets like mine because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tournament. Whether you're betting on a big upset or a 1 seed, it's time to go dancing with America's #1 sportsbook, and that's FanDuel. And you can bet on everything from the money line, who's going to win, over-unders, to which team will win it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Take the court with $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 wager. Go to FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold to get started. FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 and older and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hey guys, sound familiar? Your energy's not the same. The weight's starting to creep up. You're a little forgetful. And to make matters worse, you're not sleeping well. Well, it could be low T, but you shouldn't go one more day dealing with these symptoms. Help is available at QC Kinetics. They'll help diagnose the issue and get you back to feeling like yourself again. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They use biologic treatments encouraging your body to optimize the hormone levels you need to boost stamina, provide more mental clarity, and improve your metabolism. It starts with a complimentary consultation and comprehensive exam. One quick office visit, and you'll have next steps to swing those hormone levels back into balance. All using the protocols QC Kinetics is known for around the country. Most importantly, you'll be back to yourself, and that's important. So call right now for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. Located in Raleigh, 919-400-5473.
You're listening to the Financial Safari News Network.
From Coach Pete's Money Desk, America's Wealth Coach Pete DeRuta. Coach, can you talk about building streams of income in retirement?
And I love income streams, and especially if we're talking to you guys out there near retirement or in retirement, what's the most important thing is not what stocks you have, but how much money you're getting by holding those stocks. Not what CDs you have, but how much interest you get holding those CDs. Can you take that interest and live on it? Annuities, if you get a stream of money from annuities, some of the annuities, you get a stream of lifetime income you can never outlive. Well, that puts you in control of retirement. It's predictable, it's guaranteed, and it's easy to build a retirement plan when you know with certainty what the money's going to be coming in.
Get more of Coach Pete's insights on annuities at annuityavenue.com and call to claim your comprehensive review 888-456-7577, 888-456-7577, or text ZONE to 600-700.
Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Hour brought to you by Habitat for Humanity Restore, now selling brand new solid wood custom cabinets. Learn more at trianglerestores.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time to play the numbers game. One of our favorite times of day. Today, competing, we have Brad and I-40. On I-40, I should say. And Frank and Clayton, they'll be battling it out with Stained and Breaking Benjamin tickets on the line. They are coming to Coastal Credit Union Music Park on Saturday, September 21st with special guests Daughtry and Lakeview. That's the deal. To decide who goes first, because it's a Monday, we always ask the same question. Brad, we'll start with you. What was the highlight of your sports weekend? Anything that happened over the weekend that was sports related, what was your favorite part?
Watching the Tar Heels win, man. Go Heels.
All right, fandom. I appreciate it. We go to Frank and Clayton for this same question. What was the highlight of your sports weekend?
I would say it has to be NC State. Growing it out in that overtime win. Most definitely. Keep the run going. 7 straight.
All right, this is impossible. You're not going to make me choose Carolina or State. So I will. I'll let Dennis choose. Put you on the hot seat.
Oh, come on.
Put you on the hot seat.
Come on. Now you're going to make me look like the bad guy.
Exactly. That's the whole reason I did it.
Whatever. I'm just going to go. Brad called first, so I'm going to go Brad called first.
Hey, that's fine. That's a fair little balance there. Brad, you get to go first. Pick your category. Here are the category options. NFL, they're all Alabama alum in that category. NFL, all Florida State alum in that category. NBA, under 35, that's all jersey numbers number 35 or less. And NHL, Canes and Whalers only.
Let's go NFL, Alabama.
All right. All these players played their college football at Alabama. I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number. You have 30 seconds on the clock. You do have 1 pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers.
8.
Incorrect. Jalen Waddle, Miami Dolphins.
13.
Incorrect. Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers.
6.
Incorrect. Jalen Waddle, Miami Dolphins.
Pass.
Jerry Jeudy, Denver Broncos.
17.
Incorrect. Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers.
11.
Incorrect. Jalen Waddle, Miami Dolphins.
23.
Incorrect. Jerry Jeudy, Denver Broncos.
No clue, man. Oh, God. Terrible.
You started off confident. You started off like, I'm going to get these, and as it went along, you could hear the ticker getting louder and louder in your brain.
Yeah, I blanked, man. I'm just like everybody. Like the horn started, and I was blanked out. So.
Bryce Young wears number 9. You were 8 out the gate. I thought for sure you'd get to 9. Jalen Waddle wears number 17, which you guessed for Jerry Jeudy. So had your Alabama receivers flipped. And Jerry Jeudy wears number 10 for the Broncos, or wore number 10 for the Broncos. Luckily for you, Dennis picked you to go first, so you still have a chance to win if it's an 0 for tie. So sit on the line, all right?
Good luck.
Yes, sir.
That brings us to Frank and Clayton. Frank, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. You have the remaining categories to choose from. NFL, Florida State alum only. NBA, under 35, all jerseys 35 or less. And NHL, Canes and Whalers only.
NHL.
All right. The way this works, I'll give you the team. I will say, or I'll give you the player. I will also say the team, even though we know what the team is in this category, just for timing to keep it fair. And then you give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. You have 30 seconds on the clock. You do have 1 pass. You need to get 1 correct to win. All right?
Got it.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Teuvo Teravainen, Carolina Hurricanes.
86.
Correct. Joel Edmondson, Carolina Hurricanes.
6.
Correct. Eric Stahl, Carolina Hurricanes.
12.
Correct. Sean Hill, Carolina Hurricanes.
22.
Correct. Martin Jelena, Carolina Hurricane.
21.
Incorrect. Martin Jelena, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
Martin Jelena, it's the last one we have, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Incorrect. Martin Jelena, Carolina Hurricanes.
23.
Correct. Did you have like a realization there? It felt like you were ready to give up, and then something clicked.
It just clicked. I just clicked at the last minute there, last second. Yep.
That's a perfect score in the NHL. That doesn't happen often. I think that's the 3rd one we've ever gotten in NHL.
Maybe.
So congratulations. Needless to say, you needed 1. You got 5. Way to save the Monday. You get the win. You get the tickets to see Stained and Breaking Benjamin, Coastal Credit Union Music Park on Saturday, September 21st with special guests Daughtry and Lakeview. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Go ahead and sit on the line, and Dennis will get the info he needs to make sure you get the tickets. What a saver that was.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I got an over.
An over on a Monday, just it hits a little more. If double offers on Mondays are the worst.
Yes.
To go from an over to a 5, perfect score. Let's go.
Ironically, the Carolina fans started off like Carolina did.
Started a little slow. Is that what you're saying?
A little bit.
Speaking of college basketball, nice transition there, Dennis. I don't think it was what you were trying to do, but it was a good move. The Drive, this show, will be broadcasting live from Carolina Ale House in Cary on Friday afternoon. So our show from 3 to 6:30 will be at Carolina Ale House in Cary, getting you primed for a historic night of Sweet 16 college basketball. If you're looking for a place to catch the games, you want to talk basketball with us, we're going to be out there having a good time. State fans and Duke fans, join us early, grab your seats, and get your orders in before tip-off. Those games are going on that night. The Drive, live Friday from Carolina Ale House in Cary. We want you all out there. We want you to put together a big group, want to have a good time. And to do that, you need to show up and bring your positive attitudes, your optimism, wear your gear, rep your team, just like both of those callers did. Now, one did better once the game actually got started, but they both were willing to rep their squad pretty aggressively, which I appreciate. Quickly here, want to update our brackets a bit because we did reveal them publicly. Our final four, both Dennis and I, completely unintentionally, and I don't care if you believe it or not, there was no collusion. We had the same four.
Yeah, we did.
We had 3 number 1 seeds and a 4 seed. And I think we probably both did the 4 seed because we're like, we're not going to be all chalk. Let's go ahead and find a little bit of a longer shot. That was Kansas. So all 3 of our chalk picks are still alive. In our final four, we had we had UConn, we had UNC and Houston, and then Kansas. Kansas is out. Appreciate it, Bill Self. Way to go, buddy. Dennis, you did take a little bit of a harder hit because you had Kansas in the championship also.
I did. I knew full well going in that they had some injuries and stuff that they were dealing with, but I was like, you know what? Why not? Because why not? No one knows how this is going to play out.
I was expecting more from Dickinson, to be honest.
Yeah.
Didn't get it. However, both of my championship teams are still alive because they were the first 2 seeds in the entire tournament, UConn and Houston.
Yeah, good for you.
I say that knowing I'm in 9th in my family pool. You know who's in first?
Who?
A 7-year-old.
See, exactly. Exactly my point.
No
one knows.
This is like my family league takes it very seriously. I've used this like me and my mom danced to One Shining Moment at my wedding. There's college athletes that played in the ACC all over the family tree, and a 7-year-old is in first right now. It's a little blow to the ego, for being honest. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I got to let you know what just happened. I don't know what was going on with Dennis's microphone. He has access to my headphones, and he was trying to tell me something, and it sounded – did you hear it like I heard it?
No, I don't. No, I said it exactly. Yes. So I was trying to let you know that you had to do a Window Nation.
Which I'm going to do, but you turned into the teacher in Charlie Brown for a couple minutes.
The talkback button kept sticking, so it just kept cutting off.
And I'm looking at him trying to read lips.
Now you know how the sausage
and
is
I just got the giggles there. That was hilarious. March is a critical time to check your windows, says the teacher from the cartoon. If your windows are cracked, leaked, won't open, won't stay open. All right, that's too, like if they're stuck shut or if when you open it, they slam shut, now is the time to call Window Nation. You might not realize how much money you're throwing out your windows every single day when it comes to your energy bill. And you might not realize how much money you can save using Window Nation's buy 2 windows, get 2 free deal they have going on right now. That's unlimited. If you live in a building that has 750 windows, you can buy 2, get 2 free all the way through, right? So however many windows you have, there's no limit on the savings. Plus, get 2, you do that deal, 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments as well for 24 months. Lifetime warranty they can install in 1 day or less. It's all a pretty good deal. You need to check it out. Window Nation. It's easy to get a no obligation free quote right now. Just call 866-90-NATION. 866-90-NATION. Or visit windownation.com to schedule. That's windownation.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, appreciate greatness, everybody. Look around. Understand how cool it is, what we're dealing with here in the Triangle. I'll tell you more coming up next.
Hey, y'all. Dylan at Oak City Customs here. With spring upon us and summer right around the corner, it's time to enjoy your backyard or outdoor entertainment space. At Oak City Customs, we offer a wide variety of items for outdoor living, including pergolas, shade sails, fire pits, and outdoor bar areas. In addition to dining room tables and other items for the inside of your home, We would love to make your vision for your outdoor space a reality this season. Come visit us at our showroom in Zebulon or check us out at oakcitycustoms.com.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
For a limited time, you can buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $2.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
BetMGM has an unreal deal for sports fans in North Carolina. You can turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first wager. Easily stretch your sports betting excitement to the absolute max. Simply download the BetMGM app and sign up using code Victoria150. Then place a $5 wager on any of your favorite sports. You'll receive $150 in bonus bets instantly regardless of your wager's outcome. And if you think the action-packed fun stops there, the King of Sportsbooks has plenty of surprises in store. Check out daily promotions, nail-biting same-game parlays, live bets, and so much more. Download the app in North Carolina today and use code Victoria150 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly from your first wager. Because you're not just playing with any ordinary online gaming site, you're playing with the King of Sportsbooks. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus, only North Carolina only. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
You call that a precision stop?
When a rookie stunt driver, just give me a shot, meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all.
Come on, focus.
They'll soon find out that behind the wheel of the Nissan Rogue, with the power of VC Turbo and the most fuel-efficient gas-powered engine in its class,
Watch this.
the protege can become a master. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Level up your drive with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Auto Pacific segmentation excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. For well-qualified buyers, 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2023 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 60 months financing at $1748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 4/1/24.
Heard the catchphrase that's sweeping the nation?
Jackson, Hugh, yeah.
People are saying Jackson Hugh yeah to Jackson Hewitt because they love saving money on tax prep. Do you love saving money? Then switch to Jackson Hewitt today and pay less than last year. Thousands of people have already made the switch. Why haven't you? Stop waiting and start filing. You won't get a better deal or a better catchphrase. All together now.
Jackson Hugh, yeah.
Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive, 99.9 The Fan. We're having a good week. It's only Monday. We're having a good week, and it's only Monday. Here's what's going on. By the way, we may have even more going on. There are 3 teams in the men's basketball NCAA tournament from the Triangle in the Sweet 16. If you include Duke from the women's tournament, we're up to 4 teams from the Triangle in the Sweet 16. And NC State, as it sits right now in the women's tournament, is up 70-65 over Tennessee. If they win, we'll be up to 5 teams from the Triangle in the Sweet 16. I can't emphasize this enough. This is not normal.
Far from it.
This is extraordinary. And you may be spoiled because, right, if you're listening to this over the airways, if you're listening over stream, thank you, what's up, how's it going? But if you're listening to this over our kind of traditional radio dial, you live in an area that is wildly fertile college basketball, successful grounds, right? It is a hotbed. Even for this area, this year, this tournament is a specifically over-the-top tournament. Duke, Carolina, NC State, whatever order you want to put them in, have only made the Sweet 16 in the same year. This is the 5th time in the men's tourney. Ever. These 3 programs have been good for a long time. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of national championships shared between the 3 of them.
A lot of Final Fours.
A lot of Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
A lot of celebrities. A lot of records. A lot of really, really good. This particular, all of them having the similar, really good postseason has only happened 4 other times in history. Not since, 2015? Mm-hmm. Before that, 2005. Before that, a couple times in the 80s. That's it. So it's like this is already understood as one of the best, however many mile radiuses in college basketball. But I'll add this in. It doesn't happen anywhere else ever. This kind of year happens here occasionally. It doesn't happen anywhere else ever. Right? Maybe USC and UCLA in LA, but that's just 2. Right? It's unreal that it's happening. And you mix in 1 or 2 of the women's teams, and you quickly figure out that it happens nowhere else. And NC State just took a 7-point lead. So again, barring a very dramatic switch there at the end, it is a 5 Sweet 16 area. It just doesn't happen. Enjoy it. Right, I'm big. One of kind of the catchphrases I use is appreciate greatness, right? And usually what I'm saying when I say appreciate greatness is don't be so blinded by your fandom that you miss out on something awesome, right? Don't be such, I don't know if these people exist. Don't be such a Hornets fan that when your great-grandkids ask you, did you see LeBron play? You'll go like, no, I avoided every game. Like occasionally, just watch the ones that are going to be remembered. You know what I mean?
The Charlotte Hornets.
No, I only watched LaMelo Ball. Let me tell you about this family. Like don't be that person. Appreciate greatness. But when it's in your area, you don't even have to do like the watching someone else you're not a fan of thing. Like it's right here. It's for all of us to consume. It's that darn good. Brag about it. Call up your buddy that you went to college with that lives somewhere else and say, guess who's in the center of the basketball universe right now? Oh, that's me. You want to come visit? This has only happened 5 times in history. And guess what? It usually is followed by even more success. The 3 teams in the tournament, Carolina, State, and Duke, being in the Sweet 16 the same year, every single time it's happened previously, all 4 times, at least one Triangle team has made the NCAA tournament. I mean, obviously they've all did. Has made the Final Four. In each of the last 2 times, in 2015 and in 2005, one of the Triangle teams has won the entire thing. That's a pretty good track record. That's a pretty darn good track record. And what I said earlier still rings true. These three teams did not do it the same way. There's no blueprint that teams in the triangle have figured out, and they're all mimicking each other in their way to deep postseason runs. They've done it differently. They've assembled their teams differently. They have different styles of player. They have different styles of coach. They have different styles of recruiting. Yet there's 16 teams left standing in the entire college basketball, men's college basketball world, and 3 of them are from right here. Do not take it for granted. And if NC State can hold on to the win against Tennessee in the women's tournament, there are 5 teams of the 32 remaining in men's and women's basketball from right here. Don't mess around with it. Enjoy it. It may never happen again. Now I'm going to tell you about DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm Tim Donnelly for DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over, everybody. An official DraftKings Sportsbook, which is an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live. You can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, that's TIMD, no spaces, and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Same-game parlay means if you're interested in betting on the Canes, you could bet the Canes to win, the over in total goals in the game, and you may throw a little bit of part of your parlay on Sebastian Aho to score. All 3 of those combined, they'll do the math for you, give you the odds, give you the payout. It'll be right there. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD, T-I-M-D with no spaces, and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD, no spaces. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. We have Overdrive coming up next, where we dive more into the NC State victory over Oakland. They needed a little bit of extra time to get it done, but they got it done, and that's what's important. We'll also talk UNC getting their win over Michigan State in Overdrive. That's coming up next. Don't forget, we'll be live from the Carolina Ale House in Cary on Friday for the drive from 3 to 6:30. Hopefully we'll see a bunch of you there. Enjoy Overdrive. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the drive. Have a great night, everybody.
Bring on the madness.
Pass ahead, down to O'Connell. He'll dribble out the clock. It's all over. The Pack wins 79-73 in overtime. You can light up the bell tower red and meet the Pack in Dallas, Texas, because NC State's going to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 9 years.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Carolina Ale House, Fairway Green, and Bailey's Fine Jewelry.
Want a truck? You're in luck, because it's Ram Truck Month at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. We're not talking just 5, 10, or even 15% off. We're talking 20% off all new Ram 1500s, excluding TRX and Tradesman package. 20% off all shiny new Ram 1500s. It's time to get off your keister and get to Heister for your new truck. We'll serve it up with personalized customer service from our team dedicated to providing a seamless buying experience. Hurry to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Get ready for spring at Westlake Ace with the best brands like Steel, Ego, Scotts, and more. Right now, select Steel products are up to $60 off. And don't forget, Ace Rewards members save money every season. This month, 20-pound bags of Ace Bird Seed are just $11. Visit our 2 new locations at the corner of Rogers Lane and New Bern Avenue, or on Leesville Road in Pinecrest Point. Westlake Ace Hardware now has 5 convenient locations in Raleigh.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is the time of year to enjoy life, isn't it? Everything's starting to bloom. Well, stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Adam Gold here, and this is a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk and run and climb and play and do anything you want pain-free. No pain pills, no surgery, all natural solutions. Live your best life this spring and summer. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 919-400-5473. 919-400-5473. 4 locations: Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. QC Kinetics.
Direct Auto Insurance